I don't know what the heck just happened. I don't know what the heck just happened. Can you guys see me now? I don't even know if I'm streaming. The whole thing just went like completely crazy. Hi, just me. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It said it like like my software all dumped. My software all dumped. And then I came back and you guys were like, I can still see you. And my software is telling me I'm not even live. I have no idea what just happened. Do I look okay now? Do I look like I did before? Yeah, that's the other thing, Patrick. It was like it was bouncing like all these lives off too. Like when I went to go like select a new live, it was just like, which one of these like 5 lives do you want to select? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm correct right now. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing wrong. That was really weird. That was very, very weird. Says you got like 8, yeah, I don't know. It's not that I got nervous. I just was like, I was trying to fix everything, and you guys were like, you're still live, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, it obviously says I'm not live. Anyways, whatever. As long as we're good and we're back to it, I'm on my homepage. I'm only seeing 1 live. So I think I'm good. And I see my horizontal live. So that's cool. That's cool. All right, well, I look good there. Anyways, y'all, welcome back in. Welcome back in. We're going to restart this thing and try again. We're going to restart this thing and try again. I feel like the second time's the charm, really. You know? Personally. Sodium, I saw your message that said Corey keeps banning me. I literally saw you type into the chat, Corey ban me. I saw you type into the chat and tell Corey to ban you. What are you talking about? You just asked him to do it. I watched you ask him. Did you think he wasn't going to do it? Is that what you thought? Did you think he? Yeah, exactly. Corey, I saw it. I saw him specifically say it tagged you and everything. It said at Corey, ban me. And then he wants to message me on Discord and be like, Corey keeps banning me. I'm like, you just told him to. Sodium's okay. Sodium's okay. He's here every day. I think he's one of my biggest fans, I think. He's just here every day. He's here every day to tell me I should make him a mod so that I stop controlling the live like Democrats do. It says in before ban. I don't even know what that means, man. Make sure he can talk for the live, Corey. And Sodium, don't be a freaking jerk. Not a problem. And one of my mods in YouTube, get rid of Maddie. I don't want him here. Okay? You can just get rid of him permanently. If he never touches my live again, that's totally fine. He's not worth the time. Anywho. Anywho, welcome back in. Welcome back in. I don't know what happened to the stream. It just like my computer it just completely like I don't know what happened. I have super fast internet. I am direct plugged in and my router is on my desk. I have no idea how I could possibly not have a good enough connection right now. But for some reason, it just disconnected my entire software. I have been playing around with my computer today with the software on all sorts of stuff, including some like firmware updates and all sorts of stuff. So it could just be that. I'm going to take it as that. But welcome back in. Hopefully the numbers actually recover because it took a second on that last one. But yeah, we're about to open up these phone lines, get this thing started. I should have been started over a half an hour ago, but I had to restart everything. So... yeah. But yeah, we can get this thing started. We'll try to hurry up and get this thing started on this one since that last one kind of bombed out on me. I don't really know what happened with that. But yeah, we'll open up the phone lines. We'll see. I had all these phone calls before I had to freaking shut it off. So we'll see if they're still here or not. If not, then maybe I don't know. We'll see if it recovers. If it doesn't, then I'll just have to be out of the live today or something. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
27.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
At times.
What do you mean at times? He's the president right now. Do you support him or not?
Yeah, I mean, I do support him because he is our president. But I can get into it if you, like, more into detail if you want me to.
Well, it doesn't sound like you know whether you support him or not, so I don't know what I want you to get in detail with.
Well, I mean, the thing that I don't support him about it is how they were just bragging about how they're going to release the Epstein files and they don't, which it doesn't matter. I mean, at this point, it doesn't even matter if he does or not. But
yes, it does.
I mean, it won't help us at all. Nothing's going to help us.
Yes, it will.
What will it help us with?
To be able to impeach the president if he's freaking taking trips to hang out with underage girls on an island?
Don't you think he would have already been there?
Already been where?
Already been impeached and in jail if he did do that?
No, because the investigation just ended and the only person with all the evidence is him.
And the FBI.
The FBI, which he controls.
But if a criminal is a criminal no matter what.
A criminal is not a criminal when they control the criminal justice system. Sir, if we had an independent DOJ and an FBI director that actually, was qualified to be there and actually would stand independently, and an attorney general who was, qualified to be there and could stand independently, then I completely agree. A criminal would be a criminal. But Donald Trump specifically put people in those positions that were just Trump loyalists who are not qualified to do the job whatsoever. The only reason they're there is because they love Trump. That's it. The only reason that Kash Patel or Pam Bondi are even in the positions they're in is because they love Trump. Trump did not appoint them off of merit. He appointed them off of loyalty.
What did you want somebody in your office that is loyal as well?
Sir, that's not the fucking point. The point is that there is not a criminal is a criminal when the people that decide who's a criminal are freaking your best friends and have no loyalty to the law.
But he's not. He's definitely not in the Epstein files. Why would he be even?
He's not only in them, but he was briefed that he was in them by Pan Bondi 3 months ago.
But you know for a fact he's in them.
Yes, there's 3 eyewitnesses that have come out, freaking whistleblowers, saying that not only is he in them, but Pam Bondi briefed him that he was in them 3 months ago, which is why they haven't been released.
Yeah, but I mean, anybody can say anything, though. That's the thing.
Sir,
Anybody
these are
can say
3
anything.
insider eyewitnesses, okay, with direct knowledge and connection of the situation.
Okay, well, I mean, that's beside the point. Who cares about the Epstein files right now?
I do.
The main reason why
No, hold
I support
on.
him is
No, I do. I do, and the majority of Americans do. What are you talking about? Why are you acting like this is not something that I should be worried about? The president of the United States is in files connected to the largest freaking child sex trafficker that has ever existed in the United States. He has called him his best friend who has letters to them. He is directly in those files. He's in the flight logs. He's in everything. The president of the United States is directly connected to this person. Yes, I care, and the majority of Americans care. What are you talking about?
That's all hearsay. That's all.
That is not hearsay, sir.
Hearsay.
That's about as hearsay as me saying I can see my cell phone right now. And you're like, well, you said it, so it's hearsay.
Yeah, but that's a fact, though. You can see your phone right now, and you can show everybody that you're seeing your phone. Somebody saying, hey, I seen Trump inside the Epstein files, and you listening and not seeing that he's inside of those files, that's all hearsay. That's not a fact.
Yeah, no, it's a fact, sir. And you know how I know it's a fact?
How?
Because if he wasn't in them, then he would have already released them.
But he wouldn't be inside the office if he was inside the Epstein files with little girls.
Why not?
Everybody would pound a pound. Everybody. That's just like a common thing. That's like,
sir, you do realize that you can be a felon and be the president. He's already convicted of 34 other felonies, and people still elected him as president. What makes you think that this changes anything?
Convicted. Was he convicted
of 34 felonies? Convicted unanimously.
That's a fact. Is that a fact, or is that your opinion?
Sir, convicted is not an opinion. He was convicted unanimously by a jury of his peers of 34 felonies.
Yeah, but that all of those were dropped, though. That's not a fact.
Sir. Do you understand what the word convicted means?
Yeah, that means that you were convicted of the crime, that you did those crimes.
Correct.
But all of those crimes have gotten dropped.
Not a single one of those felonies has been dropped.
Yes, they have.
No, they have not been.
That is all. That's your opinion,
sir. That's not a fucking opinion, sir. I need you to listen with both of your ears and at least part of your brain. Okay.
I mean, I have it up on my screen right now.
Oh, okay? Then show me where all of those charges were dropped. No, that's fine. I will not only pull it up, but I will put it on the screen for everybody else so you can show me, so you can prove me wrong. Please show me what site that you're on that's saying that they were all dropped, please.
They were all dropped.
No, you said you have it in front of you. Where is it at in front of you?
So you're bouncing around right now.
No, I'm not, sir. You just said the words, I have it in front of me, that they were all dropped. Tell me where you can see that they were all dropped, and I will put it on, I will pull it up on my screen, and I will put it up for everybody to see it so you can prove me wrong. Go ahead. Tell me where it's at.
Hold on. It was all dropped.
Sir, I don't need to hear you repeat what you don't know anything about right now, okay? I just need to tell me, you said it's right up in front of you. Where are you seeing it?
Says that he was dropped, and it was on, what is this website? I don't know what this website is. Because it's just ChatGPT, so it's not even...
Here we go. All right, well, I'll put it into Google AI since you like AI bots so much. That's simple. Oh, this one got messed up. Were all charges on Trump dropped? No, not all criminal charges against Donald Trump have been dropped as of July 26, 2025. Why is it there? Well, that was pretty simple.
So it's just.
Yeah, let's try this again. Ask anything. Is Trump a felon? Yes, Donald Trump is a convicted felon as of July 26, 2025.
But it says the judge granted Trump an unconditional discharge, a sentence that affirms that he is a convicted felon.
A what
but
that
one
affirms?
Where he will face no further penalties, fines, or time in jail.
His what was a discharge? His what was?
But he was
no, sir. No, repeat what you just said. No, he wasn't discharged of all the charges, sir. He said he was sentenced. He was sentenced. No. That means that is not charges dropped. That just means he didn't have a punishment for the felonies. He's still a felon. He was still convicted. Not a single charge was dropped. He just didn't face a freaking a penalty for it. That's all it was.
Yeah, of the 34. But it says he will face no further penalties, fines, or anything.
No further penalties or fines. He was convicted and he was sentenced to not have to pay a fine. That is not charges being dropped. That is still being a convicted felon. Okay? That just means he didn't have a sentence for it. That's it. He was convicted. He was sentenced. He's a felon.
Yep, I was wrong. I was wrong about that.
I know.
He's a convicted felon. I'm looking. I'm watching. I mean, I'll say if I'm wrong, you know.
Yeah. So if you're saying, oh, I don't know how somebody in the presidency could get in there if he's doing felonies. Well, he already did it by doing felonies. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I mean, we're off. We're way off topic.
No, we're not. We're right on topic.
We went on Epstein files to he was a convicted felon. I mean, he's not. But you're just getting off topic now.
No, we're directly on topic, sir. The question that you asked was, if Donald Trump was doing all this stuff on Epstein Island and all this sort of stuff with kids, how could he possibly have become president? And I said that there is nothing stopping a president from being a felon or doing criminal stuff and still becoming president. And then I was making an example showing that Donald Trump was already a felon and he still became president.
Yeah, but one is like a pedophile charge, and the next is like a business charge where he was.
Well, sir, you're the one who supports him, not me. I don't know why you support a guy who's literally claimed to be best friends with a guy who is the largest sex trafficker in like America. See, that was his words. Donald Trump said they were best friends.
Yeah, but he probably didn't know about that. Who knows? I can't say that he didn't know.
You mean like the little letters that he sent? The little letters that he sent to Jeffrey Epstein that said, "May every day be a new little secret," and then he signed his name in the freaking shape of a girl's pubic hair? You're telling me that guy didn't know what was going on?
That's all. What you're just saying is like just all an opinion.
Sure. How about this? How about he said we share a love of beautiful women. Epstein likes them on the younger side, though.
I mean, I love women, but not on the younger side.
No, he said Jeff likes them on the younger side. You're telling me that guy who said that about Jeffrey Epstein didn't know that he liked freaking girls. You're telling me.
Yeah, but who knows though? Like
Trump did.
Someone that like if I talk to someone, they say, "Hey, I like younger girls." I mean, the younger girl is 18. That's a younger girl.
That'd be a younger woman.
It's still teens, though. I mean, it's still a girl.
Man, the pretzel you're having to put yourself in to defend a freaking pedo is wild.
But but you're just putting words into someone's mouth that, you know, you're just trying to mix it up to make it sound like he's a bad guy. but
No,
you
he's
don't
just
know
a
like
bad
the full.
guy, and I'm telling you exactly what he said and what he did. And instead of just going, "Oh, that's horrible," because the stuff we're talking about is horrible, you're trying to mix it all up to make it sound like a not bad guy. I'm telling you dead straight facts of what is happening. Okay,
Yeah, but
what he's saying,
he's not
he's
the one that
associated
like
with,
put
who
that
he's
island there. He's
associated
not
with,
the one.
and you're the one that's freaking trying to defend it, not me.
No, I mean if he's a pedophile, he's a pedophile. But nobody knows that though. That's not a it's not a fact at all. It's all opinions.
That's okay, sir. Keep fucking defending it. It's fine.
I see if he got convicted of being being on that island, then that would be a problem.
Sir,
then I would
sir,
be like, yes,
I'm
that's a
sorry.
fact.
I don't need someone convicted of it. Okay. When I know he was on the flight logs, I know that he was Epstein's best friend. I know that he associated with the guy, and I know what Epstein did.
See,
I don't need any more, sir. Sir, I don't need a conviction in order to know somebody is a horrible person. Have you never met a horrible person that wasn't a felon in your life?
No.
You've never. So never in your life. Your life has just been
Nope.
perfect and just beautiful, wonderful people no matter where you went.
No, because
How
I
old
just
did you
don't
say
hang
you
around
were?
those kind of people. 27.
Oh, hold on. You don't hang out with what type of people?
Pedophiles. I don't hang out with pedophiles.
No. I didn't say anything about that. I said bad people.
Like, what do you consider bad?
What do you consider
Like,
bad?
What is bad?
What do you consider bad?
Murderers, pedophiles, rapists,
What about thieves?
these two.
What about people that cheat on their partners?
I want to consider that a horrible person.
You wouldn't. Never mind. You obviously freaking wouldn't find that.
That's
to
a
be
horrible person.
You wouldn't find that,
No.
sir. There's horrible people all around us that don't have felony convictions. There are literal horrible people all around us, sir, that have that don't have felony convictions. I don't need a felony conviction to see that someone is a bad person. Okay, I'm sorry that you do. Okay, I'm really sorry that you think, oh, well, I just watched this guy freaking, unalive someone in the middle of the street, but hey, they haven't been convicted, so they're not a horrible person yet, so I guess it doesn't matter. All the evidence is right there in front of you, and there's fucking eyewitnesses to show that it happened, but hey, there's no felony conviction, so I guess it doesn't matter. I guess we just gotta let it go. We gotta just let it. No, that's exactly what you're saying. It's exactly what you're saying, sir. No matter how much evidence I give you, you are consistently just going, well, he hasn't been convicted of it. You've said that like 5 times, no matter what every new piece of evidence that I give you, you're like, well, he hasn't been convicted. Well, he hasn't been convicted. Well, he hasn't been convicted. Hey, well, he hasn't been convicted.
I said that's an
so
opinion.
it does
all
not matter. It doesn't matter, sir. I
hearsay.
don't need a felony conviction to know someone's a bad person. Don't need it. Sorry that you do.
Yeah, but that's all hearsay. You're just saying, oh, he does this. He's in the files. He heard it from Jeffrey Epstein. I heard it from Jeffrey Epstein. And
gotcha, sir. So if hearsay. 3 people in the state of Texas see you unalive someone, are eyewitnesses to see you unalive someone, not only do you get the death penalty, but you're put straight to the front of the line. But apparently for you, if there's 3 eyewitnesses to show that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, you don't care because it's hearsay.
It's all, it's who knows? Do those people hate?
Sir, can someone be
Trump
convicted in a court?
This?
Sir, can people be convicted in a court of law with 3 eyewitnesses?
No.
Yes, they can. 100%. What are you smoking?
But
you're telling me. Hold on. You're telling me if someone robs a store and there's 3 people that saw them rob the store and there are 3 eyewitnesses.
That's a fact, though.
Sir,
that's a fact.
Sir,
what you're saying is a fact.
Sir, it's not a fact. The only reason I know it is because 3 eyewitnesses saw it happen. Can someone be convicted in a court of law for 3 eyewitnesses watching them rob it? Yes or no?
Like it's so you're
yes
saying
or
that
no,
3
sir?
people saw it.
Yes.
Like for a fact.
They said it's a fact. They said they were there and they saw it happen.
See that it could be all just a fake.
We know they were in the store, sir. We know they were in the store at the time of the robbery. None of these people have any benefit from freaking testifying, and they all say that one person robbed the store. Should that person be convicted? Yes or no?
But is
Yes or no
there's a
question,
camera?
sir. I'm tired of the but
There's
yes,
a
but no.
lot more that goes into what
No,
you're
there's
saying.
not. I'm
Is
just
kind of
asking you
like,
a very, very simple question, sir. If three people with nothing to gain, all different people that don't connect to each other, all eyewitnessed the same person robbing the same store and all had we're all in the store at the same time, should that person be convicted? Yes or no?
yeah, see, but it's all, there's a lot more
Man,
to
the
that,
pretzels
right?
you have to put. No, there's not.
There is a lot.
No, there's not. There's literally
No,
zero
you're
else
not
to
even,
it,
you're not
sir.
even letting
This
me
is like the
speak. You're not even
simplest.
letting
This
me
is
speak
like
at
the
all.
simplest thing that I've ever asked someone ever. Like
No,
I could literally go.
that's
I
the
should go
thing.
grab
You
my
just think it's so
14-year-old
simple.
because
You
my
think the law is
14-year-old
just so
could.
simple.
My
And that's what's wrong
14-year-old
with,
could
that's what's wrong
super
with the country.
easily.
People think that
No,
the law
people
is
wrong
just
with the
so
country is
simple.
people that defend pedos like you. You're what's wrong
No,
with the
I'm
fucking
not
country, sir.
defending
No,
this.
no, that's all you've been
What you're
doing for
saying
the
is all an
entire time
opinion.
that you've
It's
been
not
here.
even a fact.
The
What you're just saying is
entire
an opinion.
time that you've been
And you
here,
don't let
that's all
anybody,
you've done.
you don't let
You are the
anybody say
problem with the
anything
country,
because you
sir.
just think that
You've
you're
been
always
saying
right.
stuff the whole time.
Yeah, but I let you speak, but
You
whenever
don't let
I
me speak
it's
at all.
you have to talk over me.
No, sir,
That's
I
what
don't.
You guys do
I just
all
get
the time.
tired of freaking hearing people defend pedos. I'm sorry, and I have no will to let you do it.
No, what I'm saying is that you just think that three eyewitnesses, let's just say three people saw, like, quote unquote, saw that murder. They could be lying. Who knows? There's a lot more things into it, but that camera that's been showing right there, that will show who is the murderer.
Gotcha.
So those three
you're
people,
saying that no murder should ever be convicted unless there was a camera.
That's not what I'm saying at all. There's
So
could be
you're
DNA,
saying,
there's a lot of stuff.
Oh,
So
okay.
what you're saying,
dude, stop,
what you're saying
please.
is
You're
three people that
embarrassing
are
yourself.
eyewitnesses, right?
You're
They should
embarrassing,
just be
sir.
convicted
I
of
asked you
murder
a simple
automatically.
question. No camera, no DNA, three eyewitnesses is the person convicted. It's not that difficult of a question.
Yeah, but there's a lot more that goes into it.
No,
There's
there
so
is
many
no
false
more. I am
convictions.
telling you the scenario. There's
so
no
many false
more
convictions. There's so many false.
There is so many false
sexual
convictions. I
assault,
didn't ask you about that,
victims.
sir. I asked you if a person with three eyewitnesses to a crime where that had no reason to lie whatsoever, would they be convicted? Yes or no? It's not a difficult question.
But there's a lot more.
Okay, sir. Well, then if you can't answer the question, then I'm just going to let you go and I'll go talk to somebody else because this is ridiculous that I've asked you the same question. No, sir, sir, keep talking over me and I'll hang up.
There's so many broad answers.
All right, well, then I'll hang up. All right, we'll just move on to the next person. I really appreciate it. What a ridiculous stance, bro. The pretzels that people have to put in to defend this guy is just wild. Josh, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says unconditional discharge does not mean dropped. It does not whatsoever. I was trying to explain that to the guy, but he didn't want to listen. Thank you, Josh. JJ Gaming, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, hey, what's your take on birthright citizenship? I've read it a few times and it confuses me. Oh, it's simple. The Constitution says if you are born in the United States, within the jurisdiction of the United States, you're a United States citizen. Period. End dot. And the Supreme Court has affirmed that decision, I think like 5 times now, 4 or 5 times. Trying to get rid of birthright citizenship is anti-constitutional. It's anti-American. It's just that simple. But thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Frost King, Trump technically could have released some Epstein information in his first term when the FBI was investigating his death. Yes, he could have. But why would he do that when he's in them, Frost King? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that when he's in them? Green Guy, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says imagine defending a pedo. Like, right? Crazy. Thank you so much, though. Gotta pull them all. You can't be found guilty just because of association. No, that wasn't my claim. My claim was, can you be found guilty based on 3 eyewitnesses? And you absolutely can. People have been convicted on much less, actually. So, yeah, you easily can. But thank you for the $5 super chat. JJ, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said can't convict on 3 eyewitnesses. Saul Goodman, 2 identical people. How would that work? I love the Saul Goodman reference. I appreciate that. All right, we're gonna open up the phone lines. Keep this thing going. hold my beer. That's what he says, right? Hello, how are you?
Yo, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Do you support Trump?
No, dude, I just wanted to call in, bro. I think this is really cool what you're doing. I just wanted to spread the message of, these people, they might be very confused with what's going on. They might be misinterpreting information that they hear, but at the end of the day, these people are very important to our country, no matter how much we disagree with them or how silly their ideology might seem to us because they can't quite grasp difficult concepts. A lot of these people, because of the people that are representing them in the government, don't allow them to get proper education to be able to see through the facade. So I think that's just very important, and I just wanted to carry out that message today.
Yeah, of course, people are important, but people need to be, instead of being convinced that they're just right because they believe something, people need to get told, like we do in this live, that people are just simply wrong. Just because you believe something that is untrue doesn't make you right whatsoever. So,
No,
but yeah,
no, not
absolutely.
at all.
But hey, I do appreciate you. I am going to move on to a Trump supporter, but I appreciate you coming up, right, man?
Yeah, no worries.
All right, we're going to keep this thing going. Mr. Appleskin, thank you so much for the 99-cent super chat on YouTube. I appreciate that. And Taylor, thank you so much for the 99-cent super chat over there, too. I really appreciate that also. Hello, how are you?
This is Al Wong from Wong.
Hello?
Start digging in your butt.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
Who is this first?
What?
Who is this?
How old are you?
I'm 14.
Thank you. Hello, how are you?
Start digging in your butt, twin.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
So you voted for Kamala?
How old are you?
I'm 18 and a half.
What year were you born?
Me?
Yeah.
Me, really.
Why can't I see? I can't see any of these calls over here. It's really annoying. It wasn't a difficult question. You could see him just going like, me? Me? Hello, how are you?
Heil Hitler.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Awesome. Do you
How old are
support
you?
Trump? Do you support
Still
Trump?
there? Yeah, okay. Do I support Trump? Kind of. I mean, I supported him a lot more during the election, but with the Epstein shit, it's a little bit tough to support him through this, if I'm going to be honest.
That's crazy with all the crazy stuff horrible and crazy stuff Donald Trump has done. Like this is your
molesting kids is definitely a line that I draw.
He literally bragged
I
about
don't
going
think
into the
that-
dressing rooms for underage girls.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I understand that, but I don't think he's the Hitler that everyone makes him out to be. I think that he's actually more of like a moderate Democrat from the 90s.
Yeah, how do you figure that?
He has the same policies as Bill Clinton.
He does. What
a
policy?
lot of his policies are very similar to Bill Clinton.
All right, like what?
So his border, Clinton wanted the border shut. Clinton also had some of the largest mass deportations in the 90s. Clinton also is involved with Epstein, so there's something that they both have in common.
That's not a policy, sir.
Well, obviously.
Well, I asked you what policy, and if you're talking about immigration and you're saying that more deportations, then Biden had more
deportations than Trump has.
Biden had a higher deportation rate than Trump had.
Yeah, that's also because Biden let in 21 million illegals, so he's going to have.
No, he did not. First of all, and second of all, it's a rate. So therefore,
we know that he let in over 20 million illegals.
Sir, please stop trying to grandstand. You're not good enough at it. Okay. All right. Awesome. So it's called a deportation rate. which means that the number, even if it gets bigger, doesn't change.
Smug
The
leftist.
rate would still be accurate.
Yes. And
Do you
with
know
that
what a
rate,
deportation rate is?
currently, no, I don't have any idea. I haven't
Okay.
looked at the rate.
No, you know what a
I
rate
know our-
is.
I
No,
know
what
our
a
monthly
no,
rate
sir,
is
sir,
like
stop
somewhere
talking.
around-
Stop talking. I will just hang up and move on. This is ridiculous already. All right. I said, do you know what a
Super
rate is? Do you know what the word rate means?
Man, are you always a smug leftist, or do you let other people like express their thoughts before you interrupt
I would be
them?
happy to let you express your thoughts, but you have to let me know
then
that you
let me
know what you're
express my
talking
thought
about.
then, bro.
No.
See, you just said that you would, and then you don't.
No, I will
Like,
let you
come on,
express
bruh.
your thoughts, but we're
I'm trying
on a
to have
single.
a conversation here. You
All right,
keep
sir.
interrupting me.
That's fine. Well, how about this? Okay, I'll make you a deal. All right.
Just let me get my point across, and
Yeah,
then you
no,
can
how about
respond
this?
like a normal
How
human
about
being
this?
conversation.
How about this? Well, I'll make a deal with you. Okay.
Let's make a deal.
All right. Not a very good Trump impression either, by the way.
Oh my God.
So
You're such
I'll
a
make you a
hater.
deal, okay? Either A, we talk about the point you already made, which was
Okay.
that Donald Trump's policies are the same as Bill Clinton's, because that's what we're discussing, because that was the point I already let you make, and this is why we're discussing it.
Yep.
Or B, you can just fuck off, and I'll just pull up another caller, okay?
Man,
Sound
why are
good?
you so angry?
All right, so we'll go with option 2 then, huh?
No, let's
All right. Well, I would have preferred option 1, but option 2 is fine. You know. Either way. Hello. How are you?
Good.
Awesome. How old are you?
30.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Fuck no.
All right. Sorry, man. Not having you up right now. We're only looking for Trump supporters right now. I appreciate it. No, y'all. I'm just here to have a conversation. I'm not here to listen to you grandstand. Just that simple. Hello. How are you? Goodbye. Hello. How are you? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hey, buddy, you're a fucking Mexican, buddy. You fucking spit.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
27 now.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I did in the past 2 elections, yeah.
All right. Why do you support Trump?
I just did really because I think he was better than the alternatives at the time.
How is he better than Kamala Harris?
Where do we begin? She was kind of absent for, all 4 years, she was there?
No, she wasn't.
True, yeah.
No, she.
What did she
how
do
was
then?
Well, what did Mike Pence do as vice president under Trump?
Not a heck of a lot.
All right,
I
what
wouldn't
did
have
what
voted
Joe
for him.
Biden did do under as vice president under Obama?
Conspired to drop a lot of cash to Iran.
So no, that's not true at all.
That's 100% true. What
That
else
is
you
not
got?
true in the slightest, sir. Can you please tell me one
What else you
significant
got?
policy that has happened that has been done by any vice president in American history?
Nah, couldn't.
Do you know why that is?
Actually, that's not true. We got fucking not Al Gore. Dick Cheney passed a lot of shit under the Bush administration, which I think is a joke.
Like what?
Total joke.
What did he pass?
Well, technically, he didn't pass any legislation, but he was more or less pulling the strings for Junior.
Yeah, so that's just your opinion and completely
Not my
anecdotal.
opinion.
I'm asking you what
Fact.
actual policy things has a vice president done?
Let's flip it around and you tell me one thing a vice president's ever done.
That's easy. None, because vice presidents don't do things. What power does the vice president have according to the Constitution?
I believe it's just to act as president in time of war, more or less like a poster child. But to get to the bigger issue,
Hold on. We're
I
not off
wouldn't
of that
say
issue
I'm
yet. Hold on.
diehard Trump.
Hold on. Sir, we're not
Well, let me
off of the
speak.
last issue yet. Hold on. We're
Okay,
still talking
what do you
about
got?
that. Yeah. So the vice president has 2 powers under the Constitution. 1, to be there in case something happens to the president, and 2, to be the tie-breaking
said.
vote of the Senate. Okay? That's it. So when you're saying that a vice president is absent, yes, the vice president is absent because a vice president is supposed to be absent because a vice president doesn't have any power. So when you're saying that he was somehow better than Kamala Harris because Kamala Harris did exactly what the Constitution tells her her job is, plus actually a lot more, that's kind of ridiculous. So do you actually have any actual real reason why he was better than Kamala Harris besides you not understanding what a vice president does?
No, I guess not.
Okay, cool. Anyways, continue.
So I'm just curious, who do you support? Because I'm not even saying I support Trump. I did in the past 2 elections based on kind of like the lesser of 2 jackasses. I fully believe that, I guess, nobody that's run for president in the past probably fucking 25 years should have even been in the running. But that's just kind of where I'm at. I think he's the better of 2 shitty options, or was, I should say.
Well, he wasn't. He hasn't been the better of 2 shitty options, but I don't think he's ever been better than 2 shitty options. Actually, if you have 2 shitty options and Donald Trump is in there, he is almost guaranteed to be the most shitty option.
What makes you say that?
Because he's not good at being president, nor is he a good person.
And is that just like your opinion, or what's, what I guess evidence or metrics are you pointing to when you make that claim?
Sure, Donald Trump had 1 or 2 major pieces of legislation in his first term, right? Yeah. 2, that's it, which is like, 20% of what the Biden administration did.
What were they?
And the TCJA and Operation Warp Speed.
Okay.
Yeah, TCJA, which disproportionately helped rich people to get richer.
Correct.
Okay. And the Operation Warp Speed, which was the speeding up of the vaccine creation, which he then told everyone not to get.
Correct.
That's it.
I think it was a very confusing time geopolitically for every country involved. What the hell is, the next step to preserving humanity? Everyone was crying out, we need a vaccine, we need a vaccine. He kind of got everything, the ball rolling at warp speed, got everything in line. And then, hey, don't take it. It's very fucking confusing. I'm not saying I support the guy. I actually think he's a total fucking pompous asshole.
But I was in the middle of answering the question. Like, so can we just hold up real quick? Yeah. So Donald Trump did 2 pieces of policy, one which he backtracked on and one which just helped rich people or primarily helped rich people. That is not being a good president.
But now you're talking his 2016 presidency, 2016 to 2020. Do you want to bring up any points why he's, arguably the worst ever, or whatever your words were, since this current presidency?
Well, yes, sir, because we were talking about why he was the worst of 2 choices. And see, currently he's not the worst of 2 choices. He's just the president. Yeah. So at the election, he was the worst of 2 choices because he was a bad president before.
That's your opinion. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, you do realize that a group of over 50 presidential scholars rated him as a president amongst all presidents in history, and he ranked top 3. So not just my opinion, the opinions of literally people who just study presidents for a living. He was bottom 3.
Leftist. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're calling a bunch of people leftists that you didn't know existed until I just told you.
No, I'm not telling you that.
Okay, so who did that study? What presidential scholars did that study?
Couldn't even tell you. I know,
but you know they're all leftists. So please go ahead and tell me who they are. And since you know that they're all leftists,
so I should refrain. I should back up for a second. Likely, if they're involved in any sort of higher education, have PhDs and received those PhDs in the past probably 10 to 15 years. I think statistically speaking, they're more likely to be leftist. Is that not correct?
Yes, the more educated you are, the more likely you are to vote to the left.
Okay. Thanks for proving my point.
But that doesn't mean that they were all leftists.
Okay. The majority, though.
Yeah. So anyways, like I said, please don't freaking tell me people are leftists that you didn't know existed, because that makes you sound kind of not great. Okay, but if you want to talk about how bad he's doing in this presidency, he's completely destabilized us freaking economically. He's completely destabilized us with our allies. Okay, he's made us
Definitely agree.
untrustworthy. He's fucking they've had leaks of secrets, which makes us less less safe as a country and makes other countries less likely to trust us with their secrets because of our inability to stop from leaking fucking information. Right? We don't hold up to our word. He backtracks on every fucking
Not
trade deal that
necessarily
he's trying to
true.
do. So yeah.
I think the U.S. does stand up to its word whenever it comes, in a sense of like military action. I think generally when the U.S. makes a promise, especially Trump, hey, this is what's going to happen, it tends to happen. Is that not correct?
That is not correct. No.
Okay, can you give me an example?
Sir, I don't know how I can give you an example of all the times he hasn't done anything. What are you talking about?
Just give me,
You're talking about
me like 3
militarily
examples.
specifically?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, okay, that's easy. I'm the president of peace. I'm not going to get us into new wars. How many different countries have we attacked since Donald Trump has been president?
Well, I think every president in the past fucking 30 years has made that promise.
Yes, sir, but you said that he was the one that stands up to his word when it comes to our military. Did you not?
To military action.
Yes.
So if he says, hey, this country does this, the U.S. is going to respond by doing this, that generally happens, no?
No.
Okay.
Can you give me one example of when it did?
Let's just say when the Zionist dudes out in the Middle East with the funny hat, they had a problem with the other Middle Eastern dudes, and they said, hey, we need some help over here. And then we pretty much obliterated their, not the entirety of, but the majority of their nuclear facilities.
Yeah, so not only did we not do that, okay, but first of all, those same Israel has been saying that exact same thing, that Iran was this close to having a nuclear weapon, and they were within a couple weeks away.
Probably
since
for the past 30
1992.
years, right?
Yeah, and Iran still hasn't had a nuclear weapon, but every other president was smart enough to see that and actually go with our intelligence reports showing that they weren't trying to do that, so that we did not get involved in new military action, except for Donald Trump. Even though our national intelligence,
of like the Obama administration donating a lot of money to Iran.
That is not true. Okay, but can I please finish my sentence?
True.
It is not true. Okay, and I can prove that wrong afterwards.
No, we do it right now. I'd appreciate it if you did it right now.
No, because I was still in the middle of proving your last thing wrong when you cut me off.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so Donald Trump was the only one dumb enough to do it, and all of the intelligence reports right now show that none of those freaking, or I say maybe possibly one of the 4 enrichment facilities are actually completely destroyed. The rest of them were less than 6 months away from being rebuilt and back in enrichment quality. Not only that, but there were 400 kilograms of freaking 60% enriched uranium have disappeared, and we have no idea where it's at. So not only is Iran just as capable as they were before of creating a nuclear weapon, but now they have a bunch of enriched uranium that we don't even know where it's at, so we can't even hit them if we want to. And that's coming from intelligence reports from over 50 nations across the planet, including Israel. So no, we did not
realize the nuclear arsenal of the U.S. is large enough to literally turn all of Iran into a parking lot?
What does that fucking have to do with Donald Trump's attack
failing? You just made a
failing?
statement about, we don't know where all this uranium is. Like, are you joking, bud?
Oh my gosh, you're okay. Sir, did you make the claim, or did you not make the claim that we destroyed and absolutely obliterated Iran's nuclear program?
No, I did.
You did.
And I fully believe
so
that.
I was letting you know that you are absolutely and unequivocally wrong on all accounts. Okay. And you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. And instead of actually, responding and realize that I was talking about your point, not on who has more nuclear weapons, you decide to completely change the conversation over to who do you think has more nuclear weapons, when nowhere in the conversation was that a thing.
You made a red herring. Oh, we don't know where a lot of this material is. I was making a counterpoint to that side point. You brought us on a tangent.
What was the point of me saying that? How about this? What was the point of me saying that?
You were trying to disprove the idea that Trump wiped out, or not Trump necessarily, but the U.S. military wiped out Iran's, nuclear facilities and so forth.
No, sir. I was trying to make a point that now Iran is closer to making a nuclear weapon than they were before we bombed them.
It's not true, though.
It is true.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me if you have a lot of nuclear materials, but nowhere to assemble those, you're closer to making a nuke.
Sir,
Interesting.
as I
a great
just
point.
told you, the intelligence reports from over 50 nations, including Israel, okay, all show.
Israel never lies, though, dude.
Okay. Do you
Yeah.
have anything of importance to say? Because I think I'll just move on to the next person because this is
I'm
a
curious
worthless
what-
conversation.
Maybe it is. I'm curious what your views are on, you're talking about Trump being the worst president. I think he's up there probably.
No, sir.
top 10
I
of-
maybe you misunderstood what I was telling you. I'm telling you I'm hanging up the phone on you because I keep trying to have a conversation with you and you keep just cutting me off to change the subject. Okay? And so that's a worthless waste of time conversation for me. Okay? When I'm
just
trying to
trying to
actually
mirror
have
the way that you're
intellectual
speaking to others.
conversations. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So either A, you can at least attempt to have an actual, logical conversation with me, or
Yeah,
I'll
give me
just
another
hang up the
topic,
phone
brother.
and move on.
Start it up with another topic.
No, I don't want to start up with another topic. I was still in the last one.
All right. You then continue. My apologies.
All right, cool. And how about this? If you cut me off to change the subject again, you're just going to hear a dial tone. Cool?
Sounds good, bud.
Sounds great, man. All right, awesome. What the point I was making is that no, we did not obliterate their sites. Not just Israel, but 50 other intelligence agencies across the planet have all said that we did less than 6 months of damage to their nuclear facilities. And if we destroyed any, there was one, and the 3 other ones are still going to be just fine because they blocked off the entrances and moved the enriched uranium because Donald Trump telegraphed the fact that we were going to bomb them because he's an OPSEC nightmare. Okay, so no, he did not help anything by doing that. Okay, he did not obliterate anything, and he is not some military genius when it comes to this sort of stuff.
No, definitely not. I'm curious. Moving back, so the original reason I even called in, I tuned in. You were talking about, I guess it takes 3 eyewitnesses to convict a murder, and I missed the first part of that conversation. I was just wondering, what the substance, backstory was on that. I did have a couple, points I wanted to bring up in regard to that conversation mainly.
Yeah, I really don't feel like relitigating that entire argument, but my entire point was that that last guest was pretending like 3 eyewitnesses to an act doesn't mean anything.
But give me just a background. What was the substance to that?
There are 3 different eyewitnesses that have come forward saying that not only is Trump in the Epstein files, but he knew he was in the Epstein files
I totally believe the guy is.
Because Pam Bondi briefed him that he's in the Epstein files 3 months ago.
So let me just ask you this then. If Trump is in these files, as likely he is, why wouldn't the Democrats, when they were in power, why wouldn't they have done anything about that?
Well, there's a couple reasons for that, actually. Would you like to hear them?
Yeah.
Yeah, first of all, it was still under an active investigation, and you're not supposed to release files of things when they're under an active investigation. Second of all, we have a pretty much under Democrats, and really under every other president until Donald Trump, we've had a pretty much semi-independent DOJ, where the DOJ is allowed to, open up things or close things or, do things on criminal investigations without the power of the executive stepping in to do something about it, right? If those files were to be released, really, as far as a DOJ type of thing, the correct place for them to be released from is from Congress. Congress should have, stepped in, done it, and then moved it on, because if Joe Biden had those files released, then exactly what Donald Trump is lying about with Obama would be happening, right? Because if Biden stepped in and went, yep, those files need to be released right now, then everybody would say, look, it's a political witch hunt. The Biden administration is just releasing those. He probably just made them up. He probably fabricated all those files just because he hates Donald Trump and he's part of the establishment. All of that would be happening right now.
Which I understand, that the backlash from the right would have been exactly that, because, the Russia, every kind of conspiracy that the left has developed, the right obviously has a backlash too. What I'm not understanding is, okay, even if all the people are saying, oh, those are fake files, why wouldn't they have been released? I mean, look at post 9/11, look at post any massacre, any, I guess, large criminal act. They're always releasing evidence before the conclusion of the case, before trial, before You know, any charges are brought in most cases. Things get
They
leaked,
are?
obviously, all the time.
Things get
I'm not saying
leaked,
that government
yes, but
directly
the
is
government
releasing
doesn't
things,
direct
obviously.
them. Yeah, things are getting
What was
leaked
that?
right now. No one wants to believe them. Things were
What's
getting leaked
leaked? I'm
under the
just
Biden
curious.
administration, but nobody wanted to believe them.
In what exactly? The flight logs?
The flight logs were one of them, yeah.
And who else was on that list?
A whole bunch of people, and I say you throw them all in jail. I don't care.
Exactly. I'm right there with you, brother.
Yeah,
Glad we can agree on something.
yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, man, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going to move on to the next caller. You have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
All right. Let's see. We have a bunch of super chats. Taylor, thank you so much. Let's see. Bro does not let people speak, just speaks over. I literally just had a full conversation with that guy. That makes you look kind of stupid, doesn't it? I've called, doesn't work. Bro is scared. Nope. If I'm on the phone with somebody, there's no one to pick up the phone. Okay. Lowest unemployment rate, making more a year. The lowest unemployment rate was actually under Biden. Taylor's a big fan, by the way. Taylor, Kamala used all of her funding for famous people. No, she actually had a lot of funding left over, actually. Joe Biden is the worst to live. Kamala was next. All right, crybabe. Bro, debate me and this will be done. Do you want me to, you're saying if I debate you, you're going to stop sending me money to whine to me? Gotcha. So if I debate you, you'll stop sending me money to whine. Honestly, I really hope you're not the next person to answer the phone then, because honestly, this seems like a pretty good deal to me. And here you are again, Trump the files because he was the first to speak. That's not even an English sentence. Let's get big W's in the chat for Taylor, who just sent me, I don't even know how many super chats right there, just to whine to me, I guess. But I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. If you guys would like to support, oh, there you go. Here's another one, Taylor. Only way to talk to you, I just called. Well, again, obviously you can see I haven't opened up the phone lines because I'm reading all of your super chats, Taylor. Thank Taylor for just sending me, I don't know, 45, 50, I don't know, 75 super chats. I appreciate that. If you guys would like support, I do have super chats open. I'll put them up on the screen. I'll talk about them, whether I like it or not. I'll just throw them up on the screen. I don't care. It's fun for me to sit here and read these. But thank you guys so much. And we're about to open up the phone lines and move on to the next caller. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, Eugene, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said mutually assured destruction. They're all on the list, brother. Well, you know what, sir? If they're all on the list, then why doesn't Trump release them? I thought he was drain the swamp. I thought he wasn't part of the establishment. I thought that's why everybody voted him in. Because he's not part of the establishment. He should release them so we can see all of these establishment people that are in the files. Oh, wait. That's right. He's in them. My bad. Thank you so much, Eugene, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Yo, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already, or follow button if you're over on the Twitch side. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We do this every day but Thursdays. And even more fun if you catch me on like a late night live like I had last night. It's even more fun. All right, phone lines are back open. Let's keep this thing moving. Really appreciate you guys. Hello, how are you?
Yeah. Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Is this the guy from the
How old are
YouTube
you?
Live? Yeah.
You're not. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Well.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
20.
Awesome. What year were you born?
I was born 2000 and something.
Hello, how are you?
Nigger.
Hello, how are you?
What's going on, buddy?
Hmm?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How old are you?
27 or 29, sorry.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I sure do. Hi, I'm Taylor.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's good for you to finally answer since you want to talk over people but get mad when they talk over you. Let's talk about how 7 million
This is
jobs
not
are created.
this is not how this works. Okay?
Listen,
So
buddy.
first of all, bring it down about half a notch. Okay? Second of all,
Okay.
I'm not happy that you're here. I wish you were still in the chat sending me money for no reason.
Hey, man. Well, but the only way to talk to you is you're scared to talk to actual people and know what to talk about.
So if I hang up on you, you'll just go back to doing that?
No, man. I'm just trying to get to talk.
Because that would be I mean, preferably for that'd be preferable for me, to be
You're
completely
not letting
honest
me
with you.
speak because you're speaking over me.
I'm sorry, what were you just saying? We whine a lot.
Google one. Okay. So let's talk about how the 7 million new jobs were created.
What 7 million new jobs?
In 2016, there were 7 million new jobs that created. Let's also talk about how the middle class also had an increase of $6,000.
Sure, let's talk about
yearly.
why do you think that there were 7 million new jobs created in 2016?
Well, let's talk about how the Democrats always push people to different areas of the country, and then Trump decides to bring them back over.
Okay. So again, sir, do you have anything that you attribute to the 7 million jobs created in 2016?
What are you talking about?
You just
Look
said there
at
was
the charts.
7 million.
Yeah, there were 7 million new jobs created because so many jobs are taken out.
Mhm.
Because so many companies went to other countries because it was cheaper to do so.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If 7 million jobs were created in 2016, I agree with you. That is a really, really good thing.
Just 2016 was the whole presidency.
What'd you say?
The whole presidency.
Well, you said 2016 specifically, and I was just saying 2016.
I know, I apologize. I misspoke.
Yeah, I was just saying, if you're saying that 2016 there were 7 million new jobs were created, then I agree with you. That's a really, really good thing.
Okay, so let's also talk about the lowest unemployment.
Well, can we talk about one thing prior to that?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, who was president in 2016?
Donald Trump.
You want to try that again?
2020. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Who was president in 2016?
Obama.
That's right. Obama was president in 2016. So thanks, Obama, for all of the jobs. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I meant 2020. But
thank you. I really appreciate that. So anyways, I don't know. I mean, if you're just here to talk great about, about Barack Obama, then I think that's pretty cool, man.
Obama who committed treason?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sir, you're the one that wants to talk about Obama's presidency years, not me. You're the one who brought it up.
Right. So let's talk about the treason he committed while he was president.
Okay.
Let's talk about the treason he committed when he was after president.
Okay, what treason did he commit?
Okay, let's talk about the Russian files. It's already been proven that those were his. And
The
he was
Russian
leader
files that were
in the
proven.
Russian
Okay,
hoax.
awesome. What Russian files were his?
The Russian hoax, talking about how the Russians were a part of the collusion to help Donald Trump win the presidency in 2020.
Well, what Obama said was that there was a concerted effort by Russia in order to affect our election. Yeah.
Correct, and it was all a hoax.
Well, it was not a hoax at all. Okay.
It was a hoax if you actually read the stuff that's coming out nowadays.
I have. Okay, and
You
pretty much
haven't if you're not actually looking at it.
Yeah, not only have I, but I can explain it to you.
Go for it.
Yeah. So pretty much what Tulsi Gabbard is saying is that Donald Trump, that Obama said that Donald Trump reached out to Russia to try to get them to help, and that's never what Obama said. There was a full intelligence report from an investigation that lasted over 3.5 years. Okay, by a bipartisan intelligence committee that stated that the entire investigation was completely up to par and nonpartisan, and that Russia did have a concerted effort to try to affect the election. And do you know who led that intelligence committee?
Go for it.
Oh, I mean, sir, you said you know all of this stuff, so who led it? Who do you think?
No, man, it's your show. I'm letting you speak.
No, I'm giving you the opportunity. Can you please tell me
No.
who led it?
No. I'd hate to speak over you because you get scared when people speak over you.
So he doesn't know, y'all. All right. So I'll go ahead and
I
inform.
know.
All right, then who was it?
Go for it.
Okay, we'll make this really simple. Either you open your mouth and say who it was, or I'll hang up the phone.
You know what? I don't know. How about you teach me?
That's what I thought. Okay. It would be Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
Correct.
Yeah. So he was the one that led it, and he was the one that came out and said this was completely above board, right? That there was no issues with this investigation, that there was no plant or no evidence created by Obama or anything like that, that none of this happened. And it's kind of crazy that they're kind of saying like, hey, there was a giant coup, okay, that happened that apparently ended up with Donald Trump still becoming president. Not only that, but Russia admitted to the fact that they interfered with the election. Okay. And it was because Donald Trump actually got on stage, and we can pull the videos from that. I remember it very clearly. But Donald Trump got on stage and said, hey, Russia, if you can find those emails, like, send them our way. Or he said something to that effect. That wasn't exactly what he said, but he said something to that effect. So it's not really surprising that one of the oligarchs in Russia reached out, got those emails, hacked it, and that they were trying to affect our election, and that they specifically went after Hillary Clinton's emails, which shows you who they were trying to affect it for. And we have plenty of evidence from multiple other things that they did, like creating a Tennessee for Republicans website that they, wasn't like, it was like TEN instead of TNN, that actually had more
Where did you
like
get this
followers than
information
that.
from? What's your sources?
Oh, that would be from tons of different sources. But
Like what?
I could pull some if you like.
If you want to.
Yeah, about which part specifically?
I mean, whichever one you want to. I just like to see where your sources are coming from.
Well, those all come from the investigative reports that were released, and those are very, very long. But if you want some like more smaller sources that aren't hundreds of pages long, then I can find you some on specific things.
I mean, go for it.
Okay. On which part would you
just like to know which sources you like to use.
Which sources I like to use? I like to use primary sources.
Okay, from what news medias?
Do you know what a primary source is, sir?
I do.
What's a primary
from
source?
Like what actual medias?
Yeah. So what actual media shows that you don't know what a primary source is?
Not
Okay.
sure at all.
Yeah. So what would be the primary source for the Russian investigation?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay, so the primary source would be the documents from the investigation, the actual released and report that stated what they investigated, how they investigated, and what they found. That would be the primary source. A news agency or media outlet would not be that source. So when I tell you that I was actually looking at the actual reports and the investigation, again, from the unclassified versions that were released and the parts of it that came from it, I'm talking about the primary source. I'm not talking about I read this on CNN. Okay, I'm talking about the actual report that was released about the investigation. Okay. And there was tons more. This is just, again, this is tip of the iceberg. But no, Russia 100% tried to collude tried to affect our election.
No,
Yes, they
not
did.
even close. No, they didn't. So that's why
Again,
Obama's
sir,
being looked at
3.5 year
and
investigation
that's why
ran by
Clintons
Marco
are being
Rubio.
looked at. You're right. He was 3.5 years
Ran by Marco Rubio.
Okay, who was president during that time frame?
During that whole time, Donald Trump.
When Marco Rubio was running the thing?
Yeah, because the collusion happened during the 2016 election, and the investigation came after that. Actually, there was people that were indicted. What's his name? That Russian oligarch that I was talking about that said he affected it. Donald Trump sanctioned him, and the U.S. government, his DOJ, put out an arrest warrant for him. So the Trump administration literally sanctioned and freaking indicted the people in Russia that were trying to affect the election under the Trump administration.
Where'd you get that source from?
From the Trump administration when they indicted him.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was in his first term. Yeah. Most of this investigation happened under Trump's term, his first term, because again, the collusion or the affecting of the election happened in 2016. So therefore, the investigation would have happened after Trump took presidency.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't even have to quote like the left or like a media outlet or whatever. These are things that Trump has done.
I don't think so, but. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Right on my donkey kong, my man. So, I mean, then who do you think would be a good president?
Who do I think would be a good president? I mean, you never really know. I think that we have lots of candidates in the United States that could be very good presidents.
I mean, can you name one, though? Like, can you name one person that you think would actually be good that could be good in the 2020?
I mean, personally,
election?
I would love to see Mayor Pete, but that's my personal opinion. There's tons of other people, though.
Mayor Pete?
Mhm.
Why would you vote for Mayor Pete?
I think he is a very, very intelligent person that freaking has very, very good policy initiatives that has shown that he is very forward facing. He's younger, right? He has all of the ability, all of the knowledge, and all of the experience, especially as, not only being a big mayor, but also working within our federal government, being a secretary and stuff like that. So I think he has lots of experience, lots of education, very smart guy. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be a very good president.
I mean, do you have any of his policies that you know that I actually enjoy?
Any policies of his?
Yeah, policies that you think that he would put up.
Oh, I mean, again, sir, I'm saying this is just a way out in the future, just saying based off of what I've seen from him. We haven't gotten into an actual presidential race, so these people haven't put out their own policies and their own agendas. Of course, my mind would change if his policy and agenda came out and I didn't like it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because see, sir, I don't play this whole like politicians, I love these politicians, they're so great type of thing. Like the majority of Trump supporters do. Okay. Politicians are simply just our public servants. They're there to serve us. They're there to serve the people. Okay. And so I don't care how much I like someone like Mayor Pete. I don't believe that his policies are going to actually effectuate change and to actually, make things better for people in the United States, then I'm not going to vote for him no matter how much I like him. I'll even vote for somebody that I like a little bit less if I think that their policies are going to help American people and American citizens. Okay. I have no problem with that.
So with this last election, do you actually think Kamala Harris was going to be a better president?
Yes, I think Kamala Harris would have been a better president if she was a not very good president.
The same person that spent all of her funding on famous people?
She did not spend all of her funding on famous people. She had a shit ton of money and a very, very little amount of time to spend it in.
Okay, but where does that money come from?
From donors.
Okay, but what's the biggest donor the Democratic Party has?
Who?
What's the foundation that they usually go after?
No, you tell me. Who's the biggest donor that the Democratic Party has?
I mean, what's it called?
I don't know. I'm asking you. You're the one making the point. Do you not know who the biggest donor that the Democratic Party has?
I can't remember the foundation's name, but it's the same one that goes through and always has different taxpayers that funnel all this money in. And you have people that don't even know they donated to them.
Yeah, so you're talking about like a super PAC, and all candidates have super PACs, including Donald Trump, and one of his biggest donors was the Heritage Foundation on top of multiple other groups. So that's not abnormal for any presidential candidate to have a shit ton of donors and a shit ton of like super PACs and different foundations that are donating to those super PACs. That's not abnormal, including with Trump. So I don't understand what your point is.
But the biggest super PAC on the Democratic Party has donors that they don't even know they donated to that actual foundation. They don't know they were a donor to that person.
Yeah. So where's your proof of that?
Anywhere on the web that you want to search.
Okay.
Dude, there's people that have gone to houses that ask them, "Did you make this donation to this party?" And they would tell them, "No, I didn't make that donation."
Donor to Kamala Harris would have been, let's see, is it Future Forward USA? Yep, the largest donor would have been Future Forward USA. Mm-hmm. Just type that in, quick AI overview. Yes, generally speaking, people who donate to Future Forward USA are aware that they are making a contribution to the organization. Yeah, I just looked it up on the internet like you asked me to, and it's saying that what you're saying is completely inaccurate.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just a confusion right here because, and I'll put it up on the screen for everybody else to see. Future Forward operates through two linked organizations. Future Forward PAC, this is a super PAC which is required to disclose its donors publicly. Therefore, individuals donating directly donating directly to Future Forward PAC would see their names and donation amounts reported in public campaign finance filings. Where Future Forward USA Action, this is a 401c4 nonprofit organization that is not legally required to disclose its donors. This allows for it to for what is sometimes called dark money, as the sources of these donations remain hidden from the public. I forgot I had that up. All right, man. Got anything else?
Well, I mean, I'm driving trying to search all this stuff to go back at you with, so that's kind of my biggest issue right now.
All right. Well, I'm really sorry I wasn't able to let you talk. And like you said, I just talk over you and didn't let you talk this entire time. And also, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. So did that work out how you thought it was going to work out?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you still
Yeah.
talked over me in multiple cases. You have a way.
All right. Goodbye. I literally did not talk over you one singular time. I made sure that you finished every single sentence with a period at the end of each of the sentences and came to a complete stop, then took a breath afterwards. And then after you spoke, I just dog walk drug you all the way across this live. I just absolutely wrapped a leash around your neck and drug you all the way across this fucking live. You should be embarrassed. If I was you, I would literally go onto my phone or whatever you were talking to me on, and I would just delete YouTube. Okay? Because you obviously don't belong in this space. Okay? Just don't even ever look at anything political ever again. Okay? Just anytime the news comes on, just shut your TV off. All right? You should be embarrassed for yourself. Anyways, hope everybody enjoyed that conversation. Rusty, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Said, your argument against VPs not having power is not true. Two of the most consequential, Cheney and Biden, existing within our lifetime. Biden was a huge reason for the passage of ACA. Cheney ran day to Iraq operations. You are right. There have been some very influential presidential candidates in our lifetime, right? And even Kamala Harris, when we talk about Kamala Harris, because they say that, you know, the whole argument was that, you know, oh, she did nothing. Kamala Harris, you know, was in charge of, you know, helping countries within the Northern Triangle to reduce asylum seeking from coming from those countries, right? And that was her job, was to find out how our government could help those governments to, you know, kind of build up their nations, and so that they could that asylum seeking could be decreased. And it was decreased by 50% after she did that. So what she did was actually super, super important. Not only that, but she was the tie-breaking vote for the infrastructure bill, I believe, too, which is the largest infrastructure bill in United States history. So yes, there have been many very consequential vice presidents, including Kamala Harris, including Joe Biden, including Cheney. My argument is that that they said pretty much he was just like, oh, she didn't do anything. She was just pretty much silent. Yes, for the most part. And even when we can say this about Biden as far as the passage of the ACA, they do a lot of that from the background, right? Because it's not their policies, right? It's the president's policies, and they are there to support the president, right? And so, while yes, you are correct, there are things that they do, and they're very excellent things that they do. They are not to be the forefront, and they usually sit in the background and give the credit for things like the ACA to Obama, even though they were consequential towards it. So you're right. The point I was trying to make which is why I said that, was to show that their whole thing about, oh, they were sitting in the background is just absolutely ridiculous. Pretty sure JD Vance is at Disneyland. Also, he runs funny. But thank you, Rusty, for the super chat. I really, really appreciate that. Joel, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said, thank you for speaking to the ignorant. Love it. I really appreciate that, Joel. Justinas, love the discussion. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Justinas. Gray, poor Taylor paid so much money to get on to get proven wrong. Dude doesn't even know what a primary source is. Poor Taylor. Poor Taylor. Poor Taylor. Should we feel bad for Taylor, y'all? Should we feel bad for Taylor? I don't think we should feel bad for Taylor. I think he learned a valuable lesson, hopefully. Thank you so much, Gray. Frost King, thank you so much. I can't think of a president that committed treason, a president incited an insurrection on January 6, 2020. I can think of a president that committed treason, a president incited an insurrection on January 6, 2020. Yeah, over here talking about Obama committed treason. And you support Donald Trump. Absolutely wild. Absolutely freaking wild. Thank you so much, Frost King. I really appreciate that super chat. Big Isle Fox, thank you so much for the $5. Says, love it when you get people tongue tied. Keep on doing you. Sending some mad love from Honolulu, Hawaii. Aloha. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Oh my God. I love when I get them tongue tied too. That's why I just sit there and let them be quiet. It's really fun. He's talking about Act Blue. I'm not sure which part. Maybe that's part of the conversation I missed that he was talking about. I don't remember when he was talking about Act Blue. But thank you for the super chat. And Arturo says, Hillary involved with the Russians heavily. Yeah, involved with getting her emails hacked by them. That's 100% true. Definitely a lot of that. All right. Well, we're going to move on to the next caller. I really appreciate that. Unfortunately, Taylor won't be coming back. That's what really sucks. I miss him already. If you guys would like support, I do have super chats open. Like you see, we'll take intermissions in between callers. We'll talk about the super chat. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you like something I did, you hate something I did, I said something wrong, whatever. You like super chat, we talk about it. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll have some fun. We'll talk about it. So I really appreciate the support. Thank you guys so much. You guys really do help me to keep doing this every single day. And so you guys are really awesome. I appreciate that. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
I am 18.
Awesome. What year were you born?
2007.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
All right. Well, do you support Trump?
No, I do not. I just came on the show to explain some hypocrisies that I noticed, like, with all the Trump supporters.
Hey, dude, I really appreciate that, but I am only looking for Trump supporters right now. I'm pretty good at pointing out their hypocrisies on my own, but I do appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful day. All right, man.
Okay. You too. Thank you for what you do.
Yeah, man. Bye. All right. Yeah, I'm pretty good with the hypocrisies thing myself. I think I pointed out like 9 for Taylor. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm Tony.
What year were you born?
2006.
6, does that work? I don't believe you anyway. Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, how are you today?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm great.
Awesome. How old are you?
You're live.
Oh, thank you. How old are you?
I am 49.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Hell yes.
Awesome. Hey, y'all, you guys do me a favor if you guys are here, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button if you're over on Twitch side. We do this every day but Thursday, so I really, really appreciate you guys. We're about to get in this conversation. And again, W's in the chat for everybody who sent the super chats over there. I honestly have no idea how many people are watching me on Twitch right now. I assume it's like 2 or something. But I thank everybody for being here. I really appreciate you guys as I get started over on that platform. Awesome. So why do you support Trump?
No, I mean, there's a lot of reasons. I was specifically wanting to respond to your lack of providing complete information on this Obama coup thing. And you're bringing up
there is
Marco
no
Rubio.
Obama coup thing.
Right. So if you really truly believe that, then look at the information that Tulsi Gabbard put out on July 18th.
I did.
100 pages. No, you didn't. You're talking about Marco Rubio. You haven't mentioned Gabbard.
No, because I read Gabbard stuff and all Gabbard stuff.
It's not. You're lying. You're a liar.
Okay.
I mean, if you say that, you're a liar.
Okay.
Period. I'm saying it's not. It's completely different than what Marco Rubio did.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Well, then why aren't you mentioning any of it?
Because Tulsi Gabbard's entire thing claims that Obama.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Are you going to let me speak at any point during this?
Sure, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. Tulsi Gabbard's entire thing just makes claims that Obama made claims of things that he never made claims of.
It's declassified emails, memos, and an internal communications from Obama with the FBI and other administration folks.
Sir, I
that are
read it.
1,000,000%. That is it.
It
if you
is
read it,
not.
then you read it with
Okay.
you read
It
a
is
quarter
not.
of it with your eyes closed.
No, I read the entire thing, but what I did is I actually used my brain when I read it, and
Why
then
aren't you
actually
mentioning
used
any
and,
of it
and
then?
actually
Why aren't you
used
saying,
logic
hey,
to understand that when I read it, okay, first of
Yeah.
all, okay,
Yeah.
it shouldn't have
Yeah.
been released to when it should have at the point whatsoever, because they were still redacting it, which is absolutely horrible. Second of all the things that she's claiming in these documents.
That's your opinion.
Sure, that's fine. That's also the opinion of, literally the people
All
who
other
deal with
liberals?
classified information and all of the freaking allies across the world, but that's fine. Okay.
Liberals, you mean?
But regardless of any of that, okay, the things that she released were just documents, okay, that don't prove anything because they weren't made, they only have context when made with claims that she's saying Obama said or did, but didn't do. We know that Russia tried to affect our elections. What she is
No, they
saying
didn't.
is, I have all of this proof.
They didn't have the capability or the
They
interest,
admitted
period.
to it, and Donald
No,
Trump
no.
indicted people over it.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he
What are you
did.
talking about? Who?
The Russian dude. What's his
Name
name?
one.
The guy that freaking Russia Putin had killed because he tried to like bring tanks into Russia, like not to Prigozhin.
What are you talking about?
I can bring up his name. Prigozhin.
Donald Trump indicted this dead guy from Russia?
Well, he wasn't dead in 2017, ding dong.
He indicted somebody from Russia.
And sanctioned him. Prigozhin.
Well, hold on. I won't say that's bullshit. He was operating under what Marco Rubio and that bullshit committee put together.
Yeah, Yevgeny
Prigozhin.
Prigozhin. Yevgeny Prigozhin. Hold on, I'm looking up his name now. Yevgeny Prigozhin. I don't
care what his name is. Okay, if he indicted somebody, I don't know anything about that. It doesn't matter. That committee was bullshit. Even though, yes, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, was leading it, or he put out the report from it. It's bullshit. Period.
Yes,
it is.
Yevgeny Prigozhin.
Hold on.
Hold on. No, you hold
on.
on. You hold on.
Okay, you go ahead, and then I'm going to.
Yevgeny Prigozhin, the late head of the Wagner Group, was indicted by the United States for his role in the internet research agencies. Sir, I am still talking. Sir, I know that you want to move past this because you don't like it because it goes against your point. But there's other people out here. But there's other people out here that actually would like this information. So I'm going to need you to be quiet.
Other liberals. My bad.
Okay. Well, no, just other people that actually want to learn instead of people that just want to whine like you. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Does it sound like a whine?
Yevgeny Prigozhin, the late head of the Wagner Group. Sir, you cut me off while I'm reading this again, and I'm hanging up the phone.
Okay. Go ahead.
Awesome. Yevgeny Prigozhin, the late head of the Wagner Group, was indicted by the United States for his role in the Internet Research Agency's interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. The indictment, issued in 2018, detailed how Prigozhin allegedly funded and directed the IRA, a Russian troll farm, to spread disinformation and manipulate public opinion through social media. So yes, Yevgeny Prigozhin was indicted and sanctioned by the Trump administration for their role in trying to affect the 2016 election.
Okay. Are you done?
No, we're done once you explain to me how somehow Obama did this when literally Trump had already blamed the people who had done it.
No. What? Well, hold on. What are you talking about? Already blamed the people who done it. We're talking about the 2016 election. So, you're talking about 2018. So how did that? That's backwards.
Sir, this is why it's so
election.
important that you listen instead of just continually trying to talk, because I specifically said in there that he was indicted in 2018 for his role in the 2016 election.
Right. You're saying he indicted him before. That's what you said. Or maybe I misunderstood, whatever. But put that aside. Fine. Good. He indicted him in 2018 for 2016. He indicted him on intelligence that Obama and the FBI made the fuck up. And that's exactly what happened, and that is what Tulsi Gabbard's report. And you won't even pull. Hold on, let me finish.
There was a 3.5 year investment. No, because I don't really want to hear what you have to say right here, sir.
You will not pull that report.
Sir, no, I am not going to pull up a 100-page report. You're right. I'm not going to pull up a 100-page report.
Pull one page of it and destroy it. Just pull one page up and just crush it.
Sir, I don't even want to continue talking to you because you're very.
You're a fucking pussy.
All right, whatever you say,
You're
sir.
fucking pussy
But
ass
you're
live.
literally just off the fucking like rails right now, and you're being
How?
very, very
I
like
just
emotional.
proved. I
And
just
honestly,
proved it.
sir, I have very little to
That
talk to
was
somebody that's
Obama's
as emotional
intelligence
as
that
you are.
Trump
Sir,
indicted that
how
dude
could
on.
it be Obama's
Fake
intelligence if the
intelligence.
investigation
Because
happened
they're
under the
fucking
Trump
corrupt.
administration? You ding dong.
They're corrupt.
Okay.
The
Well,
information
you have
was
a
collected
horrible day,
prior
okay?
to Trump.
Guys, the 2016 election happened. Donald Trump took office, started an investigation. So therefore, Obama created information. That is what he is trying to tell me. Okay. Apparently, we should go line by line through a 100-page report by Tulsi Gabbard instead. Goodness gracious, bro. Stop crashing out, dude. Goodness. DOD, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, not only did you dog walk him, he paid you for his education at least. You know what? That is true. That is true. At least I got paid for, what I was doing. Teachers don't get paid enough, right? And neither do I. All right. So at least Taylor paid me for his tutoring lesson. I do appreciate that. All right, I'm going to open back up the phone lines. We're going to keep this thing going. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. And thank you so much for the super chat. Hello, how are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
I'm 20 years old. How old are you?
I'm 38. Do you want to go on a date now?
This call is being recorded.
Mm-hmm. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm just calling this morning to ask if you're a supporter of the United States military.
Yes. How old are you?
Great. Are you a supporter of the
How
Marine
old
Corps?
are you? Last chance.
Because a former...
All right. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I just want to say that I'm a bit.
Hello, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
39.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Awesome. Why is that?
Well, it's for many reasons, but one of the main issues that really got me is immigration.
All right. What about immigration?
Well, okay, let's put it this way. The past 4 years, we had the worst borders that we had ever had in this country, or even saw it in anywhere else in the whole entire world. We had an influx, a whole bunch of people coming in that they are pretty much low skilled. They are coming here with their hands out before they walk in with their own legs. They come in here, they think that they're gonna get just free stuff. Pretty low class. I mean, they are not vetted. They're not coming here based on merit. There is other people that they are waiting in line in other countries that they have to go through the process where they have to put applications in, pretty much pay for it, go through a rigorous background
So how are
check.
they skipping the line, sir?
Well, because they just arrived on the border and we just let them in, and there is other people that they wait in other countries that they've
Sir,
been
the only
waiting
people
for
that we
years.
just let in were people that were seeking asylum at the border. And from those people, it was only a certain percentage of them that could actually prove a credible fear. The rest of them were deported. That's not skipping the line. And not only that, but they were given a court date that's like 5 to 7 years in the future. So they didn't even get to skip the line because they put them at the end of the line.
Yeah, but just letting them in, we giving them a chance to actually adjust to the status in the United States through marriage, through many things where they don't even have to wait for 7 years for a court date. These
Can
people
you
through the
adjust your
state
status?
outside of.
You could adjust your
I'm sorry?
status from another country through marriage. So that doesn't change anything.
Well, these people are coming from they coming from so far. They coming from South America. They coming from Africa. They coming from Asia.
So what?
They could have waited in Mexico for their court date, but allowing them in America, it's pretty much ridiculous because we have an issue with the census too, that we count everyone that is on the face of America, not just the citizens, and that has a huge repercussion when it comes to representation in the House and the electoral.
So who has the largest border with Mexico and the United States?
With the United States?
What state has the largest border?
I believe Texas.
Yeah. So you're saying that we needed to stop giving Texas more census data to be able to affect who gets representation?
Yeah, but most of them are not going to stay in Texas. Texas is a red state. They don't allow that to happen. Most of these people, they go to Denver, they go to New York, they go to Los
Actually,
Angeles,
they
they go to
don't.
certain cities where they have sanctuary laws.
No,
I live
actually,
in
they
New York
don't. Hold on,
personally, so
sir.
I.
Sir, hold on. First of all, the only reason people went from Texas to New York is because the Republican governor sent them there. Okay, that's the
Yeah, no,
only reason. And second of all, no, we actually see that migrants, according to the census data from like I think it was October of last year to May of this year, are actually leaving in droves from places like New York to and California and going to red states like Florida and Texas because they're cheaper.
Yeah, okay, well, let's put things in perspective. I live in New York personally, and I have seen a dramatic change in here in the demographic. I mean, it's insane. It's ridiculous. Like the way that I see it right now, like from out of two people walking on the up and down the street, there is one of them that just walked into America in the past 4 years, and this is my own personal experience.
But sir, how did they get there?
Well, obviously, the Texas governor sent them because a state like New York and a city like New York, they are all for immigrants, but they have no idea what's going on when all that many people walk into a state. 11 million people.
They know exactly what happened, sir. That's why they did it. They purposefully put people on buses, sent them to New York, knowing that New York couldn't handle it. Okay.
Exactly.
And, sir, and you're saying you're supporting the party that sent them there. When Texas had all the room, they get paid billions of dollars to take care of those migrants. Okay.
Yes.
They didn't send any of that money with them when they sent them to New York. So you're supporting the people who sent them to your state, okay, without any money, without any resources in the middle of winter. And then you're mad at the other party because the Republican Party sent them to you. How does that make sense?
I'll tell you how it makes sense. Because if you are supporting illegal, if you say supporting this type of migrants, guess what? The government of Texas is going to send it to New York State and make it a border state. And let me see how are you going to handle it. They are calling Texas that you're pushing people out, that you don't want immigrants, that you are racist, that you are this, that you are that. Okay, I'm going to send you some, and let me see how you're going to handle it. Apparently, New York right now is in crisis, same with California.
New York could have handled it just fine if they were sent the money that they were supposed to have. You do realize that Texas gets billions of dollars to house migrants, and they sent those migrants without any of the money, right?
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, so the problem was that they didn't send money or give time or heads up or resources. Texas already has all of those things, okay? So I'm sure if they had sent New York money and given them time to actually, be able to create correct facilities and correct, infrastructure in order to handle migrants, then you guys would be handling them a lot better. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I understand that, but I don't agree with Texas sending money to New York for a simple fact that we don't want these people to step a foot in America first.
No,
just
sir,
them coming into America.
Who the fuck is we? You mean you?
No. The vast majority of people voted for Trump. They voted for him mainly for that reason.
Yeah, but Trump was also
the popular vote, man.
But Trump was also the reason why we didn't have a shutdown of asylum seeking 2 years ago.
I'm sorry, say that again.
The only reason we didn't have a shutdown of asylum seeking 2 years ago is because Trump stopped it.
Okay.
So if you didn't want all of these migrants coming in here and you wanted a shutdown of asylum seeking, there was 3 different border bills under the Biden administration that would have stopped that, and Republicans shot down every single one of them.
Yeah, but because with that bill, they're going to have to concede to other laws that is going to have dramatic effect on the economy.
Like what?
Come on, have you seen the inflation bill that they passed? Have you seen what happened in the past 3-4 years?
The immigration bills that were trying to be passed by Biden, that were standalone bills that a Republican stopped. What negative effect were they going to have?
That they're gonna be able to gain a legal status in the United States. We don't want them here.
No, again, sir, I don't know who the we person is. Donald Trump is underwater on immigration. More people are disapprove of Donald Trump's handling of immigration than approve of it. I think his last freaking approval rating when it came to immigration was like 38%. The majority of people do not agree with his immigration stance.
Okay, how about if Okay, well, I just read yesterday in the Wall Street Journal that they had actually a recent poll, and they see that actually Trump is up 13 points on that.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
I mean, you can search it. I mean, you got the screen right in front of
Sure.
you.
Wall Street Journal. New polls. Let's see. Wall Street Journal. Yep. Let's see. Oh, I'm not subscribed to the Wall Street Journal, so I can't pull it up.
I mean, I've seen it yesterday. I have seen a couple of reports, one on CNN and another one on Fox News, that actually Trump is way up right now in the polls.
No, he's not. Literally, the Gallup polls just released like last week and showed him underwater on every single category. There is not a single thing that Donald Trump rates high enough on to be considered above water. He rates under 50% on every single thing. And I think his highest one was 42%, and that was immigration.
I mean, I really don't have the report in hand right now because I'm just walking down the street. I was watching your show.
I could look at Gallup polling. That's easy.
I mean, you can do that. There's another polling. I believe that Fox News released a couple of days ago. CNN released one about 3 days ago too.
Yeah,
so
right
it's
here.
like
This is from 2 days ago. Independents drive Trump's approval to 37%, second term low. This is from 2 days ago.
And who's that?
This is
what
the Gallup,
organization
this is
released
Gallup
that?
polling.
Okay. Okay, but this approval rate based on what exactly?
This is based off of polling, the same thing that all approval
but when
ratings are based off of.
When they pool, they specify, is it about immigration? Is it about
No,
economy?
this is his
it about foreign
overall one.
policy?
So we have specific ones on each category, and then this is his overall.
All right.
Again, his high, I believe, is at 42%, which was immigration.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Since I don't have it in hand right now, I'm not going to argue with you about it. Let's go with what you're saying. But I can tell you right now that the vast majority of Americans, they voted for Trump for one single issue, which was immigration.
Sir, that could be true, okay, but that doesn't actually mean that Trump is good at immigration. You understand that, right? Just because people voted for him for immigration doesn't make him good at immigration. Okay, there was a standalone bill that would have shored up that was comprehensive immigration reform that would have shored up our border at the end of 2023. Okay, it had 98% Senate approval, and Donald Trump called the Senate and told them not to pass the bill because he wanted to be able to run against Biden on the bill on immigration, and that bill would have fixed immigration, and then he wouldn't be able to run against him on it. Okay.
The one issue about this.
So the only reason that immigration was even still an issue when Donald Trump took over was Donald Trump's fault. He doesn't get credit for fixing something that's his fault.
Okay. 2 points right here. If this bill would have passed, that means that every single one on American soil was about to get a legal status. That's a problem in itself. That's why I'm glad he didn't approve that bill.
That wasn't in that bill.
What do you mean it wasn't in that bill?
That wasn't in that bill.
The bill itself would open
sir, that bill was written by a conservative. You think that bill had freaking legal status for every single person in the United States? It didn't.
It was going to do that.
No, it was not. I have read this bill and studied this bill more than I wish that I had to.
All right, let me ask you a very simple question. The day that Trump took office, what happened to the borders? Crossing to the borders is all-time low. Why is it that Biden didn't do that?
Well, he did actually. By the time Biden left office, the number of border encounters was less than the average under Donald Trump's first term.
Yeah, well, obviously, because they knew Trump is coming in office.
No, it was because it was going down every single month for like 12 months.
For 12 months, okay, and for the past 3 years, when we have 10,000 people walking into America a day.
No, that wasn't 10,000 people walking. That wasn't 10,000 people walking into America every day. That was 10,000 encounters a day. That's 10,000 people that are stopped by Border Patrol. That's what that means.
Fine. You know what? Let's say 1,000 a day. 1,000 is too much.
There's no proof that it was 1,000.
So what is it? You want to tell me it was 10? I mean, obviously
Well, do you
it's
want to
not
talk about?
because
Are
I
you
can.
talking about undocumented migrants or documented migrants?
What do you mean? I don't care. I'm talking about the people that came through the borders in the past 4 years that were coming in caravans. We have millions of them that
the
walked into the
caravans thing
United
is
States.
a lie. The caravans thing is a lie.
Okay, I'm going to go with you on that. The caravan thing is a lie. Each person was independently trying to come to America. It's still a whole bunch of people came. We wouldn't have over 300,000 people in New York City if that wasn't the numbers.
Sir,
I mean, they are in New York City, they are in Denver, they are in Los Angeles, they are in Chicago.
Sir, how many just undocumented immigrants came in under the Trump administration? The first one.
Undocumented?
Undocumented, not even documented, just freaking illegal migrants, like you guys like to call them. How many?
I mean, undocumented. How are we going to actually put a number on that? These people are actually fleeing police.
It's a projected number, but we're going to get into legal asylum also.
Yeah, well, okay. The projected number, I'm not really sure how many they are, but at the same time, I'm not going to even put a number on it because we are not sure. I mean, projection always come wrong.
Okay, but anyways, it's almost 1 million.
Fine. Okay.
Okay.
So
and
a million or 13 million?
Sir, it wasn't 13 million. Okay.
10 million.
Relax,
5 million.
Individuals granted asylum effectively or defensively from 1990 to 2022. Okay, let me put this on the screen. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So the peak was right here in about 2019. Okay. And I'm guesstimating that was about, looking at the number here, about 45,000.
All right.
Okay. In the year. Okay.
All right. In a year. Honestly speaking, me personally, one person is too much.
One person that's fleeing for their life and needs safety is too much for you?
Yes, because these people are crossing borders with other countries and they don't stop right there to seek asylum, even though Mexico has way lenient laws for asylum seekers than the United States, but they come to...
Would you rather be in Mexico or the United States?
Then you are an economical migrant. You're not an asylum seeker.
That's not an economical migrant. That means it's safer here. Do we have cartels as prominent in the United States as we do in Mexico?
Okay, you know what? I'm going to go along with that too. A person that is coming, let's say, from Venezuela, El Salvador, how many countries do they pass by till they reach the United States?
I don't care how many they pass through.
Not even one of them. If you are looking for an asylum, you're going to throw yourself on the first border that you're going to find safety.
No, I'm going to keep walking until I feel the safest.
Well, the safest is one thing, but when you cross all these borders to reach the United States, it's not about asylum anymore. Plus, let's face it.
Sir, that's your very anecdotal opinion. If I'm trying to flee with my children and my family to get away from someplace that's dangerous, and I just have to go to the next border, especially if I'm being fleed or from political violence or something like that, I probably don't feel very safe just crossing one border. I probably need to cross a few. And if I can go to a country that I know is known for their safety and their freedom, right? A country built off of migrants, and let's be honest with you, sir, it doesn't sound like English was your first language because you have a pretty thick accent going on there.
I'm an immigrant myself, but I came the right way.
Sir, asylum seeking is the right way, but
absolutely not. When you have,
sir, I'm not asking your opinion. I'm not asking your opinion.
No, I'm not giving an opinion right now. I'm going to give you a number.
No, I'm going to give you a number too. It's 8 U.S. Code 1158. Are you familiar with that number?
Absolutely, but when you have
90%... What number is that?
That's Title 8 of United States Code.
Which says what?
That's. I'm not really I don't know.
It said asylum seeking is legal in the United States, so it is a legal way of entering the United States. So let's not say that it was. Okay, but I would continue to move until I knew that my family was in a place that was mostly safe from the government and from the fucking and from the places where I've been through. A place that had no extradition to those countries, right? A lot of the countries that are bordering with them have extradition if people are wanted for crimes and stuff into those countries. And if you're considered a political criminal or you're considered a criminal because you're, say, a homosexual or something like that, then you're not safer in one border or sometimes even two or possibly even three, sir. Do I believe that we should have better asylum laws in this country? 100%. We definitely need better asylum laws in this country. But again, the reason why we currently don't have better asylum laws is because of Donald Trump. We would have had them in
Come on.
2023 if Donald Trump didn't stop them.
Because he is not going to concede to other laws that they want to pass.
What other laws were attached to that bill, sir? Because that bill was a standalone immigration bill written by a Republican.
It's a standalone bill, but in order for Democrats to give the vote on it, because they controlled the Senate at the time, in order for them to pass
98% Senate support. Every Democrat but 2 voted was ready to vote yes on that bill, along with every Republican.
When I have an asylum system that has a 90% failure rate, that means most of these 9 out of 10 people walking through the border on asylum, they are lying on the application, they're going to get their case rejected, and they're not going to get deported.
Hold on. That's not because they're lying on their application, sir. That's because our asylum process is very, very fucking broken. And most of the time, the evidence that you actually need to provide in order to actually be granted asylum in this country the bar is so high that almost no one meets it. But I agree that we should find out that the people, first of all, we need to fix those laws. Okay, so that we know more clearly who is able to seek asylum, and that we can have Border Patrol understand who has a credible fear at the border, so that we can weed out people easier at the border. And we need the laws to be more clear, so that there's more of a defined ability to seek asylum in the United States. I also agree that people shouldn't be here for 5-7 years before they have their court date. We should be able to get them in more quickly, so that we find out whether they have a valid asylum claim, or they shouldn't. But again, sir, all of that stuff was in the bill that Donald Trump stopped. It was all new. It was a whole bunch of new judges so that we could process immigrants faster, so we could find out who actually had a valid asylum cases more quickly. It shored up asylum law. It restricted who got in to be able to actually seek asylum and actually get a court date in the United States. All of these things were taken care of in the bill that was written by Senator Langford, a Republican, and Donald Trump stopped it. All of the things that you want, all of the things that you're complaining about, more Border Patrol agents in the bill, more money for the Border Patrol agents to buy new technology in the bill, border wall money in the bill, increased ICE presence in the bill. All of that stuff was in the bill, but Donald Trump stopped it because he knew no one would vote for him if it wasn't for immigration.
You know what? I'm going to go along with what you're saying. Because you're the one who got the screen, not me. So I'm going to go along with what you're saying. So you're telling me that what he's doing right now is wrong?
What he's doing right now is wrong? Yes. He's deporting American citizens. He's sending people with no criminal charges to foreign terrorist prisons. He's sending people to Civil War, war-torn countries. Yeah. It's horrible.
No. If you are here illegally, you are a criminal by definition.
Yes, the same way a jaywalker or somebody that gets a speeding ticket is a criminal, yes.
Yeah, but there is a different story.
No,
as an American, you can't hold on. As an American, you can't be deported, but as a foreigner, you can. When you walk into a courtroom, anytime you take a plea to anything, they tell you if your immigration status is not being an American citizen, there is a chance that you are going to get deported. So it's within the law. Any type of crime that you're going to commit, the second you take a plea or it's been proven on you, you will get deported.
Sir,
it doesn't matter how big or small the crime.
Your argument was not, can he legally do it? Of course he can legally do it. You asked,
okay, so what's the problem?
You asked if I thought what he was doing was right.
Well, how come you're going to tell me that it's not right if they are criminals?
No, because that's not what I was even talking about. He is sending people to war-torn Sudan who are not from Sudan.
Yes.
He deported American citizens. He said he was going
to... Well, hold on a second. American citizens...
3 of them. He said he was going to denaturalize people who were already American citizens. He's already threatened it 3 times.
Yeah, I agree with him on that too.
Sir, aren't you a naturalized American citizen?
Yes.
So you think that Donald Trump should be able to just rip away your naturalization because he disagrees with you?
It's not about disagreement.
That's exactly
it's about
what it's
if you
about.
lied. No, hold on. I know people that they lie right and left in their applications, that they are calling for an asylum in here, and they are not fleeing
Sir,
anything.
he
They just
threatened it
coming here
on
as an
Rosie
economical migrant.
O'Donnell. He threatened it on Rosie O'Donnell because she embarrassed him in like 2006.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, but at the end of the day, he's not gonna do that. He's sending a strong message to anybody that lied on an application. Your time is up.
So just to be clear, sir, you as a naturalized American citizen are saying it's okay that Donald Trump is threatening to denaturalize American citizens for no other reason besides he just disagrees with them.
No, it's not about disagreeing with them.
Sir, that's
that
exactly what it's about. He got in a disagreement with Rosie O'Donnell 20 years ago and then threatened to denaturalize her now because of it.
Okay, my question to you, is he going to be able to do it? Obviously not. She was born
Who cares
here.
whether, dude, the fact that the president of the United States is even saying that is fucking crazy. But are you okay with people that have committed no crime being sent to a foreign prison to be tortured? Are you okay with that too?
They already did.
I didn't ask whether he already did or not. You're okay with that?
They already did commit a crime.
No,
they are
they
in
didn't.
Violation of the Title 8 of the United States Code, Section 1325.
So you think misdemeanors in the United States should result in torture?
It should result in deportation, yeah.
No, I didn't ask about deportation. Again, sir, you can deport people in the United States to back to their home countries if they are not documented in this country. We are not talking about that. He is sending people to other countries they didn't come from to be tortured in prison.
Well, when he tries to send them to their home country, he's saying that we can't go back because, we're fearing for our lives. So he's sending them to a third country.
To a prison, to be tortured, that the United States citizens' tax dollars pay for them to be tortured with.
Who are you talking about? The ones that went to El Salvador?
Yes.
Okay, well, these are MS-13 guys.
No, they're not. They have not been convicted, nor are there any proof that like 90% of them have any gang ties whatsoever. He didn't even send them there saying they were MS-13. He said they were Trinidad Aragua, and then changed his mind later. And then changed his mind later to say they were MS-13 when he got caught.
Well, they did human trafficking too.
No, sir, they literally did not.
So you want to tell me that these are just innocent people that was just sent to El Salvador to the maximum security prison?
Maximum security torture prison, yes.
Well, I don't think so, man, because I can tell you that much.
How many? I'm sorry. Have you ever met anyone in MS-13?
Yes, I did.
All right. How many gay hairdressers do you know in there?
Gay hair? No, I haven't seen any. To be honest,
because he sent a gay hairdresser.
One person.
Sir,
so you're gonna make that whole
example of hundreds of people.
Well,
it's just
happen.
the one that is so obliviously stupid. It's ridiculous. He sent a gay hairdresser to CCOT for being a freaking MS-13 member.
Okay, so you want to tell me in order for me to save one person, I have to allow hundreds and thousands to stay in just for us to go through the whole entire process?
You keep jumping to other parts of the conversation that we're not having. Okay,
you're the one who brought it up.
No. You're saying that I'm for some reason saying that Donald Trump can't deport other people. What? Because it is. If Donald Trump was not doing any of this other crap, then it is what it is, dude. If Donald Trump wasn't deporting American citizens, if he wasn't deporting people to freaking foreign prisons or deporting people to war-torn countries, okay, that they are not from, okay, and was just deporting undocumented immigrants, preferably without ICE agents that are mass breaking into freaking people's houses, going against like the Fifth Amendment, but against
fearing
all
for
those
their
things,
lives.
Sir, stop. Don't pull.
Come on, when you walk
stop.
into Los Angeles,
I'm in the middle of a point. Be quiet. Okay. If he was not doing any of that other stuff, okay, then yes, Donald Trump has the ability to just deport people back to their countries who are undocumented. Is it good for America? No. Okay, it's not good for the people. It's not good for America. It's not good for our economy. It's not good for us sociologically. It's not good for any of this stuff. And it costs us a shit ton of money to do. So it's not good for us, but he does have the legal authority to do that. So I can't really say much. The stuff that he is doing is stuff that he doesn't have the illegal authority to do.
Fine. Are you done with your point?
Yeah, you see how I stopped
So
talking?
I can rebuttal it. Okay, here is the thing. First of all, you're gonna tell me that illegal immigrants are good for the economy and all that. I can tell you right now that the vast majority of them on a welfare system that is actually the purpose of that system was for American citizens. So they actually taking money from us. You're gonna say that they are contributing to the GDP? Guess what? These people they come with their diseases from their countries. We have to fix them. We have to spend on them so much money. Let alone that we are a country of laws. If we're not going to enforce the laws and illegal migrants, how are we going to enforce the laws and legal migrants and citizens?
Yeah, perfect. First of all, no undocumented migrant is on welfare because welfare, okay, you can't get it if you're undocumented. You can only get it if you're documented. So saying that they're on a welfare state is a complete lie. Second of all, undocumented immigrants just in the year of 2024 got freaking paid almost $100 billion in taxes while taking less than 40 in actual freaking any type of benefits for housing and food from the federal government during that time. Third of all, how in the fuck are you going to tell me we're a country of laws when the president of the United States is a convicted felon 34 times?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the political hunt, right?
No, sir. I'm talking about the 34 felonies that Donald Trump was convicted of by a jury of his peers unanimously. So while you're complaining while you're complaining on what the equivalency of jaywalking is, you're supporting a president that has 34 felonies. Okay?
Yes, because that was a political prosecution. Plus, he got convicted on civil cases. It wasn't criminal.
Sir, he got convicted of 34 felonies. It was not a political thing. It was simply that he's a fucking felon. Okay? He'd probably have a whole shit ton more if he didn't become president and then get out of a whole bunch of them. But don't tell me you're for the rule of law when you elect in a president that's a felon.
Was it civil convictions or criminal? Because civil
criminal.
No, it was civil one.
Criminal. 34 cases. You know what a felony is, sir? Felony means crime.
Yes.
Not civil.
There is a civil felony and there is a criminal felony.
No, there is not a criminal and civil felony, sir. There is just a criminal felony. You can't have a civil felony. The word felony means it was a criminal case.
Listen, he didn't shoot anyone. They pretty much trying to
Neither
say
did any
that
of these migrants, but they committed a crime according to you. So we should punish. So we shouldn't. We can't be a country of laws if we have them there. But apparently Donald Trump apparently doesn't count towards that. He can just freaking commit whatever crimes he wants, and we're still a country of laws. How does that make any sense?
You know that constitutionally, if you are convicted of a felony criminal, you can actually apply for an office.
Now the presidency you can.
No, the president can't. Even the president.
No, there is nothing in the Constitution that says the president can't be the president if he's a felon. Nothing in there. Zero.
Okay,
things in
so we followed the law then.
Yes, sir. You followed the law. You're a country of laws that you say, and you literally are freaking voting for a felon, someone who broke the law. Federal charges 34 times. Don't tell me you're all for law and order when you vote for Donald Trump, sir. Don't even try to play that fucking game with me. Okay?
No. I'm going to ask you a question.
That is a whole bunch of bullshit.
How come? You told me yourself, that wasn't my word, it was yours, that there is nothing that can stop him from applying for the presidency office and to be elected, even though if he's a felon. So we followed the law.
Okay.
Okay, so me electing him, I'm still for the laws.
If that's the way you want to say it, sir. If you're like, well, it was proven that he broke the law 34 times. So since it was proven that he broke the law 34 times, I'm for law and order by making him president. That makes sense.
Well, legally, there is no problem for him to apply for the office.
And since it's proven that he broke the law, I think he's going to be the perfect person for law and order. You know, he's as a felon, maybe he'll be really, really good at it. Bro, give me a fucking break. You just don't like migrants here, okay? Because you immigrated
No. Don't get me wrong. No, don't get me wrong, please.
Because you immigrated a certain way, and now you're trying to shut the gate behind you because you don't like how other people are immigrating, okay?
That's not true.
That's
not
exactly
true.
what it is. You walk through the door, and you are freaking living right now your life, okay, on the systems in the United States that are helpful to immigrants. Okay, that makes us a country of immigrants. Or that bring us your poor, bring us your weak, bring us your sick, bring us those people. That country that was built off.
No, don't bring these people.
And right now, you walked right in that door. Okay. And then you're trying to shut that little gate behind you because you don't want other people that you think are less than you are to thrive off of the same system that you use to get here, to be here legally, and to stay here. Okay. That
I
is
didn't.
what you were trying to do. And honestly, sir, to be
Absolutely
completely
not.
honest with you, that's fucking sad. Okay. It is sad that
Okay.
it's someone that used our immigration system to be here is trying to shut the gate behind him, while me, who's never been an immigrant, who was born in this country, okay, is saying, hey, we should have our laws and we should have them strict, but we should also give people a fair chance. And if somebody is here and been here for 20 years and this is all they've known for 20 years and committed no crime and committed, and done nothing wrong, then it is better for us economically and it's better for us socially to give that person a path towards citizenship, and just instead of just trying to deport people just because of that, like Donald Trump is trying to do. We need better immigration laws. We would have them right now if it wasn't for Donald Trump. Donald Trump's tactics are inhumane. Okay, they are wrong, and they are even very, very close to being illegal on lots of shots. Okay, except for the ones that are totally illegal. But the ones that are totally legal, and then the rest of them are very close to being illegal. Okay, so maybe instead of just trying to freaking shut the door behind you, you should be a little bit more compassionate for other people and have a little more like humanity in your life. Sound good?
Absolutely, but let me explain something to you, because there's something missing in the middle. First of all, I was born in America. I have an accent because I was raised outside of America. My parents, when they came to the United States, my father had to have a doctorate degree in order for that door to open for him. My mom had to have 2 masters in order for her to have that door open for her. So I'm not against immigration.
Literally
I'm all
just
for
what I said.
Just give me a second.
No, you're privileged.
It's not about privilege.
You
My
are
parents had
privileged.
to do what they had to do
Your
in order
parents
for
were
them to
doctors
earn
with
their place in America.
No, your parents had doctorates and master's degrees, and you're watching poor people come to the United States, and it makes you sick, doesn't it? It
I'm
makes
not
you
caring about
disgusted
poor
that
or
these
rich.
fucking
It's not about.
poor people are coming into this fucking country. As
I'm
you're
not talking
literally
about
sitting
their
here
economical
as a
status.
fucking anchor baby, while Donald Trump literally tries to get rid of anchor babies.
Okay, let me just finish my statement then.
No, I'm really not
against.
interested. I hope you have whatever day you deserve.
I
Goodbye.
have no problems for them to come.
Sir, yes, you do, because you have sat here for the last however long arguing with me about the fact that people are coming here legally and you don't like
Come
it.
in on a merit system. Showcase your skills. Show us that you earn your spot in America.
Make sure you have degrees. Make sure you have money. Make sure you're rich. Make sure you're going to be privileged.
It's not about money.
Just like
it's
my
skills.
parents were.
Skills.
Make sure you're privileged like my parents were. I don't want any of you poors coming in, okay?
My
and
parents
freaking
came from a poor
uneducated
family,
people
man.
coming in, okay? I want to freaking make sure that all the people are just like me and anchor babies from rich parents.
My parents were poor, man. What do you think? I was raised in a rich family? No, my parents were really poor. But instead of them sitting right there and cry, well, here is the thing. I'm going to tell you what happened. And instead of them sitting down, crying about their situation, they did something about it. They had to go to school. My father had to work since he was 7 years old in order for him to make enough money so he can just buy the book.
And what makes you think that the other people that are coming to this fucking country aren't in the same situation? Instead of sitting there fucking crying about their goddamn situation, they fucking cook up their whole fucking families, doctors, lawyers, all sorts of fucking people, walked across the fucking Darien Gap, walked all the way fucking across Mexico to fucking get to this fucking country, to have a fucking life for their fucking families, just like your fucking parents did, and you are trying to shut the gate behind you. Shut the living fuck up, you privileged piece of shit. Okay? I am tired of hearing you fucking whine about this shit. You are
I'm giving you a logical argument and you're getting mad. You lost the argument.
I don't give a fuck about winning or losing an argument, sir. Do you think I'm here to win and lose fucking arguments? I don't give a shit about winning or losing an argument. Okay? I am here to show that there are disgusting people like fucking you in this fucking country. Okay? I don't give a shit about winning or losing a fucking argument. You're a piece of shit and I'm tired of hearing you speak. Bye. Fucking winning and losing arguments. I don't give a fuck about winning and losing arguments. This isn't about having a fucking argument. This is about the fact that you are trying to come in this country and shut the door behind you. That is what this is about. Literally, Donald Trump is trying to get rid of birthright citizenship right now. Trying to take away that guy's freaking citizenship right fucking now. And he's fucking be like, I don't want these poor people here. Fucking disgusting, man. Fucking horrible. Anyways, let's go to some super chats. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Sharif, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, why are we talking about Obama? Garbage, I mean, Gabbard brings this per Trump's direction to distract from Epstein. 100%. You really think that freaking this just happened to show up right around the time the Epstein stuff comes up? Give me a fucking break, man. Gabbard did that specifically because Trump told him, you better release something because I'm getting hammered over this Epstein shit. Absolutely horrible. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And Shay, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. It says, MAGA, you may try to pivot, but it won't work. We still want to know where the Epstein files are. Yes, we sure as fuck do. Pivot all you fucking want. Where are the files? Release the files right now. All right, we're about to move on to the next caller. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. If you guys like support, I do have super chats open. I'll put them up on the screen, talk about them. So if you enjoy the conversation, hate the conversation, want to make a point towards the conversation, that's the best way to do it because I'll put it up on the screen and we can talk about it. Yeah, y'all, I'm sorry. If you think I'm here to like win and lose conversations, you're in the wrong live. I'm not here to win or lose a conversation. Okay. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you?
Hey, y'all, I'm sorry. If you think I'm here to like win and lose
Hello, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
60. Gonna be 64. How old
Awesome.
are you?
Do you support Trump? I'm 38. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Well, he's not a politician.
He's not
That's
a politician. So how long do you have to be running for office and be in office before you become a politician?
What does it have to do with anything?
Well, I'm just trying to get your definition of what a politician is.
Well, it's the 450. Is it 454 people that have put us $37 trillion in debt?
Who signs off on debt?
That have stolen from the American taxpayer since the 1970s.
Yeah, who signs off on debt,
parties.
Sir, who signs off on debt?
What does that have to do with anything?
Because you're talking about who puts us in debt. Who signs off on our debt?
The Federal Reserve.
The President of the United States signs off on debt. And by the time that is true.
The House holds the budget.
The House holds the budget and creates the purse strings, right?
Correct.
And they create the budget, and then it's sent to the Senate, and the Senate approves it, and then the President signed it. And Donald Trump signed off.
President doesn't do it.
Yes, he does,
Listen,
sir. Donald Trump signed off on Donald Trump.
I'm talking about both parties.
Sir, I don't care who you're talking about. Donald Trump signed off on $8.4 trillion worth of debt in his first term.
Joe Biden
more than
created
sir.
the most,
okay, well, you have a wonderful day. Okay.
Deficit.
All right. I'm not sitting here and just yelling over you. I am over that. Donald Trump literally has added like $12 trillion to the debt at this point. Please do not tell me about other people adding to the debt. Not interested. In the slightest. Not interested in the slightest. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
I'm 30.
Awesome. Do you support Trump?
I do.
Why is that?
Well, for me, the big thing is I see it as I would, like, if someone asked me, would you vote for Trump? I would say, yes, I would vote for Trump. Because the other side, believes in a lot of things and not only seeks to pass laws and do create laws, but has already made a lot of laws that I, really seriously disagree with.
Like what?
Like, for example, gun control is a very big problem for me. I'm very pro people being allowed to defend themselves from other people and the government.
Awesome.
And so I think a lot of the Democratic states and also federal legislation. Like if you look at
Yeah.
the 90s assault weapons ban.
So what was the
so
most
both federal and
restrictive
state legislation.
piece of legislation against guns in the country in the last 16 years?
You said what is the most restrictive piece of legislation against guns?
Yeah,
in the
that was
past 16
passed
years?
in the last 16 years.
You're speaking federal or
Federal.
like state level? Federal, I'm not sure because my
Mm.
state has very strict gun laws.
Well, it doesn't
Federal
matter. I
laws
mean,
are
we're
a lot
talking
less strict
federally
than
right
my
now. We're
state.
not talking about states. So the most restrictive piece of legislation that was signed into law restricting guns in this country in the last 16 years was the bump stock ban. Do you know who signed that in?
Oh yeah, Trump had the bump stock ban because of the Vegas shooting, but to me, bump stock
Okay,
is not
awesome.
a big deal because
Well,
that
that's
was sort
fine.
of a loophole
Do you believe
issue.
that we should take people's guns away from them before we know whether they commit a crime or not?
Are you talking about the comments that Trump made regarding the?
Oh,
the
so
due
you're
process
familiar with
thing
them.
the school
So what
shooting?
exactly
Yeah, I'm
have
familiar with that
Democrats
argument. I
done?
think
What
it's a,
exactly did Joe Biden or Obama or anybody do that was worse than what Donald Trump is doing as far as laws against guns?
so let me respond to what you said about the bump stock ban just very quick.
You said you
Bump
don't care
stock
about
ban,
it.
I don't really care about it because bump stocks are impractical. They're not
I heard
really-
you respond, sir. We're past that. now.
Okay, sure. Cool. So what you said also about the due process comment, I'm not super familiar with what he said, but Trump, he says a lot of shit all the time and doesn't, will fully admit that he a lot of times says things in the moment and doesn't really mean it or do anything. As far as I can tell, he hasn't really done anything to effectually change that. But what I do think is, like, for example, you talk about Joe Biden and Obama. Joe Biden, Obama, and basically all Democrat, like mainstream politicians, Kamala Harris. This is why I wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris, is because they support so-called, assault weapons bans, magazine capacity restrictions.
Yeah. So
things
Obama
that I
had a
just don't believe.
super majority. Why didn't he just pass one then?
I don't know. It's potential that some of his Democratic, I know a lot of the mainstream Democratic politicians, like, for example, Pelosi, are very in support of gun control, but it's possible that some of them come from more moderate bases, that even if he had a majority in the Senate and the House, that they were not going to support a very restrictive federal ban because maybe their local voters wouldn't have appreciated that.
Yeah. No, that's not why. It's because your entire rhetoric is wrong. The
Okay,
reason
well,
why
that's
they
not
didn't
very specific.
Yeah, no, the reason why he didn't do that is because he didn't want to. And he was very vocal about that. The reason why Biden didn't try to do all of those things is because he didn't want to. Because your entire rhetoric saying that the left is somehow anti-gun is completely false.
I don't
Okay.
think that's completely false.
No,
I
it's
think
it's
that's a bit of an
completely
over-exaggeration.
it's completely false. You think that just because the Democrats say, hey, we should have common sense gun laws and we should have, make sure that the right person has the right guns and that they know how to use it and that they're not crazy is somehow a restriction on the Second Amendment, and it's not.
I do believe that so-called common sense gun control is a restriction on the Second Amendment because I also think that's deceptive language, as is assault weapon. I think those are politicized language manipulation terms that you can use to try and pass legislation that bans things like, for example, saying high capacity magazine when you're talking about a 30-round magazine for like a AR pattern rifle. That's a standard capacity magazine for an AR pattern rifle. So when you use some of these like language and
Sure.
you said
I
that
haven't
Democrats
used any of that
don't
language.
engage-
You have.
Well, you just said common sense gun control, so that's why I said it. But Democrats, for example, you're saying that I'm completely wrong and that this is completely false, that they don't believe in this. Very many Democrats, including, I don't have specific quotes that I can bring up to you, but I can guarantee you that Joe Biden, Obama, Pelosi, Harris have all said things regarding like you just said, quote unquote, common sense gun control, assault weapons, high capacity.
Yeah, so there's
magazine.
nothing
That's
illegal
where I
or
disagree.
wrong about common sense gun laws. Actually, most countries that do have guns have them. The thing that they don't have is our level of mass shootings. And you want to complain about the assault weapons ban, all right? Which I'm not even sure that you know what the assault weapons ban did. But regardless of that, you know what
I'm
we did
aware of
see?
what it did.
What did it do then?
It placed restrictions on magazine capacity, certain features of firearms. There's things that I believe
No,
are
what?
somewhat
No, hold on.
arbitrary and
What
very easy to
restrictions?
circumvent if you're a criminal.
What restrictions?
Magazine capacity.
No.
vertical
You're saying
foregrip,
that. What
flash
restrictions
hider.
on magazine capacity?
For the federal one in the 90s, I believe it was like 10 rounds. Was
No,
the
you're not
restriction?
understanding. It was the new
5 rounds or something?
manufacture of those certain things. It was not taking away assault weapons from anyone, okay? Nor was it saying that you cannot have one. It was the
That's still a
restriction of the
restriction.
new manufacturing of them. And what we saw just from the stop of the new manufacturing was mass shootings in the United States significantly fell. significantly fell. Like, I forget the percentage, but it was like a drastic number of reduction of mass shootings in the United States just by the stop of the new manufacturing of those weapons.
Well,
Okay.
we might have a point
So
of contention when it comes to mass shootings, because I don't believe that mass shootings are an existential problem in the United States. I believe it is an issue, but yeah, you can laugh. I just, that's my idea. I don't. Okay, fake
okay,
laugh.
go ahead and
Okay.
explain that one, please. I would
Yeah,
love to
I
hear
don't believe
how
that mass
when we
shootings.
have
Okay,
more gun deaths in our country per capita than
explain.
any freaking first world country on the planet, and it is the number one preventable freaking death of children in our fucking country, how it's not a problem.
So let me explain for a minute or two, and then I'll ask you a
No,
question, if
just
that's
let's
all
get
right.
to it.
Okay, I'm getting to it. So I believe that the major problems with gun violence are not these mass shootings that we see on the news, where, you know, that is an issue, but I don't think it's the biggest problem. I think the biggest, and for example, the vast majority of actual, like, what are considered mass shootings statistically, not where they kill 50 people in a school. That's fucked up. We can all agree that's fucked up, and it's a problem. But I think the biggest problem when it comes to gun violence is the after effects of slavery and segregation in the United States, and racism and redlining, segregation, and the way that minority communities have been fucked over with gang violence. And a lot of those, for example, Detroit, Chicago, Baltimore, DC, those places are super fucked up, hella gun violence, and they have crazy gun control, like the most strict gun control laws in the whole country. So I don't think that gun control will fix that problem. I think that's a systemic issue relating to, like, slavery. The other problem I think there is with gun control is the fact that, look at country, and this is an extreme scenario, but it can become a slippery slope. Look at countries like North Korea, China, places where people don't have any freedoms. They don't have any weapons. They can't fight back against the government. That's why I fundamentally believe in not restricting, you know, people being able to own, like, semi-automatic rifles and shit. Because I think if the government does ever go fucking crazy and start doing messed up shit to people, that we should be able to at least fight back.
Yeah. So let me address that second point, and then I'm going to address the first point. The second point, saying that other countries that have no freedoms don't have guns. You know who else doesn't have guns? The most free countries on our planet, right? Because we don't even rate in the top 20 on the freedom index of countries in the United States. There are dozens of countries that have more freedom in the world than the United States does, and the majority
What's
of
the
those.
biggest country?
Sir,
that's
hold
higher
on,
than the
sir.
US
I know.
on the
I
index?
let you finish your points. It's my turn now.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, the majority of those countries that rate higher on the freedom index in the United States have much stronger gun regulations than we have in the United States. The reason for that is because freedom, you're a lot more free when you're not in fear of being shot and fucking killed going to school. Okay,
I can concede,
no, sir, I'm still
point.
in my point. You can wait.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so saying that somehow freaking naming the most restricted countries in the world and saying they don't have guns and somehow so they're not as free. Well, you know who else has very strict gun laws? Norway, Sweden. Freaking most of the countries in the Baltics, they all have freaking very strict gun laws, and they all rate above us when it comes to the freedom index, and we're the most incarcerated nation on the planet. A lot of that because of guns, which is even crazier, which again goes against human rights and freedoms. Now let's backtrack to your first point, and let's talk about the fact that you're talking about the repercussions of slavery on gun violence in the United States. No, I do. And first of all, the whole reason that the Second Amendment was even originally written was to be able to put down slave rebellions. So when you're talking about freaking why, you know, how slavery affected the Second Amendment and your gun rights in the United States, yeah, you're right. It directly affected that because they wanted to be able to put together a militia to be able to put down a slave rebellion. And that was the whole point behind the Second Amendment to begin with. Okay. And yes, you are right. There are certain areas that are freaking very affected by redlining, by gerrymandering, by freaking, you know, the Jim Crow laws that still have, or that have affected, through slavery. I completely agree with that. And the violence that comes along with those things due to poverty are horrible, horrible things. But ignoring the fact that the freaking rate in which somebody is in which people are killed is very much exacerbated by the fact that freaking people are able to have ease of access to guns is just ignoring the obvious. You want to talk about that freaking large cities have a higher rate of gun violence. Yes, of course they are going to, because they have the highest concentration of people. And wherever you have the highest concentrations of people, you are going to see the highest mortality rates as far as from violent crime. You see that in countries regardless of whether they have strict gun rights or not. If you look at places like the UK that have very strict gun rights, you still have a higher unaliving rates in places like London than you do in places, you know, that are outside of the main cities. So that doesn't change anything. The fact is that our mortality rate, our violence rate is much higher than theirs because of the guns. Okay. So yes,
Yeah.
there are existential issues within our society that create violence brought on by, the after effects of slavery and due to poverty and redlining and all other sorts of things. But ignoring the fact that gun violence is what freaking exacerbates it is just ignoring the obvious.
Okay. I appreciate those points that you made, and I'll briefly respond to a few of them if that's all right. So with the Freedom Index thing, I can concede that, yeah, America's not the nicest, best country in the world, and that those countries may be higher. I don't think that that's 100% correlated to gun laws. I do think that my point is still valid with authoritarian regimes not allowing their citizens to own weapons. I do think that is a concern, and that's one reason why I am pro firearm ownership and not very in favor of very restrictive firearm laws. And that's just a personal point of view. But that is true. America is not a perfect country. And in terms of gun law, so the point that I was trying to make with those cities that have very strict gun laws still having a lot of gun violence is this is a component in why I don't believe and why I won't vote for Kamala Harris. I won't vote for a lot of those politicians who often believe, even if they're not actively pushing for it all the time, but who believe in strict gun laws, is because I don't think those actually prevent crime in our system, or many systems. For example, in Brazil, we know a lot about the cartels in Mexico. That's a big problem. But I'm Brazilian, and in Brazil, there's a war going on, a huge war going on, and they have very strict gun laws over there. You cannot you can own guns if you're privileged and whatever, but they're still very strict. And in the favelas in Brazil, the slums, they have guys with machine guns, grenades, assault rifles, 50 cal sniper rifles, fighting with each other, fighting with the police. Millions and millions of people live in neighborhoods that are controlled by armed factions. That it's like a civil war, basically. And there's very strict gun laws there. So I just don't believe that gun laws, or for example, I'm not a huge proponent of the war on drugs either, because I don't think that cycle of violence, whether it's in Brazil or the US or Mexico or wherever, is going to help. I think that we have societal ills that will not be fixed by gun control, and that those crimes, that gun control is not even a Band-Aid that we can stick over gang violence, violent crime, whatever. If we want to fix that, we're going to have to go to the root of the problem, find a social program way to revitalize communities that are fucked up, to help. For example, Black people have been fucked over in our country.
Yeah,
I have ancestors that were slaves, and I have ancestors that were slave owners, and all that shit was really fucked up. And gun control is not going to fix it. And if anything, it makes it harder for legitimate people to defend themselves. And I believe in that point.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Let's make this real short. Listen. Do seatbelts help stop car accidents?
Yes, but seatbelts don't really infringe upon your liberty.
No. Hold on. Don't try to take the conversation someplace else because you know where I'm going. Okay? Because guess what? DC versus Heller very specifically said that gun restrictions do not infringe on your liberties according to the Constitution, and that was ruled on by Judge Scalia. Okay. And who's a Republican? Okay, so don't go down to the infringing on your liberties thing. It doesn't exist.
I don't agree with him.
You cannot agree with him all you want. What's the job of the Supreme Court according to the Constitution?
Well, the Supreme Court is one of the branches. I don't know what.
Yeah, their job is to interpret the law. Their literal job. Their job is to interpret the law. You cannot agree with it.
Do you agree with Roe v. Wade? The interpretation that they have of Roe v. Wade?
Do I agree with the interpretation of Roe v. Wade? I didn't agree with the interpretation of Roe v. Wade before or after it was overturned.
Supreme Court ruling. So
I didn't agree with it before or after, but if you're going to bring out infringing on your liberties when probably one of the most right-wing fucking Supreme Court justices already ruled that it's not an infringement on your liberties, then I don't really want to hear about it. But first of all, my question was, do seatbelts stop car accidents?
Seatbelts stop? No, they do not stop car accidents.
Just the same way that seatbelts don't stop car accidents, I am not expecting gun laws to stop violence. Okay, you are saying that, we have gun violence, and I don't expect gun laws to stop violence within the United States. I don't believe that either. I don't think anybody with a logical mind believes that they was going to stop violence. Okay,
if I could rephrase,
what I'm saying is that
it will have a significant impact on the rate of gun violence.
Is that seatbelts make us safer? Okay, just like common sense gun laws can make us safer. It's not going to stop violence. It's not going to stop gun violence in the United States. Okay, but the restriction helps us to stay safer. And that is true. And that will happen. And the reason why we know that is because every other first world country has already tried it and it works.
I understand your argument. What do you believe would be the common sense gun control solution? I'm interested in understanding your perspective of what the seatbelt.
I mean,
you would like
personally,
is.
my first thing would just be like, we need to make sure that everybody that has a gun has as it's first of all licensed, it's registered, we know who has what, and that person knows how to use it. More importantly than that, we
Okay.
need to make sure that the mental condition and the criminal record of the person that has them
I agree with
is
that
you know
component.
is you know correct, right? Like that's
Yeah.
that I think that's just where we start the line, right?
I fully agree on the mental aptitude and psychological aptitude component of that for sure.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
glad we have some common ground there.
Then I would think that, like, you know, we need some type of storage laws. Like, that would be my guess, right? Like, sure,
For
if
sure.
you want to be able to have, like, you know, one weapon that's within reach, it needs to be into, you know, some type of, you know, certified area that you make sure that your kids can't get to it, or some crazy person can't
Yeah.
come rip it out of your nightstand or whatever. You want to go have, you know, your fun stuff, whatever. It better be in a locked safe, you know, behind a very locked door, that makes sure that, you know, everything good. And I think that should be able to be checkable, and that we should, you know, be ensure that people do that, right? And I think that we should
Yeah.
increase punishments on people who don't abide by that. For kids that get into their parents, you know, gun safes or something like that and commit a crime, I think the parents should be held liable for that.
I agree with that.
You know, you see how I'm saying just like normal common sense stuff from gun owners that really like isn't even that serious, that you're like, I agree with right off the bat, right?
So
And-
I
and, like,
agree with some of those things. I don't agree with some of
you
those
don't
other
have to
things.
agree with all of them. That's
But I'm
fine.
curious, what are the more like technical? Because for example, the things that really concern me, and some of the things that you said concern me a little bit, but I'm not super worried about. Like there's arguments to be made around having a registration list, licensing, stuff like that. But what I'm really concerned about is, so I'm someone who's very interested in the function of firearms. Like I design firearms. I know a lot about the way that firearms
Well,
work.
I was getting
so-
to that.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
what kind of
So my
restrictions on the
big
function
thing
of
on that,
guns.
and this is very, very simple and very, very easy. Okay. You're probably not going to like my answer, but it's very, very simple and
Maybe
very,
not.
very easy.
It's okay.
Yeah. We need to allow groups like the CDC and other, you know, groups like that to be able to study firearms to find out what the best answers to those questions are. Okay. We need people that are professionals at freaking, you know, at firearms to be able to go out and study them and find out technically, hey, we can do this. This will freaking improve this, X, Y, and Z. And we do studies all the way across. And we need to be able to allow this, and we need to restrict this. And this will help and do X, Y, and Z. And to be able to have studies, and then to be able to have people to be able to make decisions on those studies, right? The problem
Do you have
we have
any
right
opinions on the?
hold on.
Sorry,
The
go
problem we have right now is due to different stances, like, oh, the left is just trying to take away all your guns and all this sort of stuff, is that we don't have the ability to study it right now. And I believe that if we were able to study it, we would be able to come to solutions that makes everybody happy. Okay. But every time we try to study it, people like you come up and say, well, the left is trying to take all your guns. And then that is stopped because that happens. And it's just the truth of the matter.
I don't adopt that viewpoint. That's not my point of view.
Well, it might not be your point of view, but your rhetoric is what drives that type of that drives that conclusion. Okay, that rhetoric that is overly repeated by the NRA, that's repeated by, you know, like everybody, like, oh, the left is trying to do that. Like, if you ever take a chance, go look at, there's an Obama speech, and it's one of the best, I think, gun control speeches that was ever done. I forget which talk show he was on, but he gave an entire speech where somebody asked a question very similar to yours, and he answered the question. He actually used the seatbelt analogy, which is why I brought it up. Ooh, excuse me, but he brought it up because he was talking about, you know, freaking, hey, how did we get to seatbelts? Well, we were able to study cars. We were able to find out that, hey, if we curve roads like this, then water freaking beads off of it. And then, you know, the car, you know, tires get less slick. It causes less car accidents. You know, we were able to study it. He's like, all I want to do is be able to study it. And if we could be able to study it, I feel like we could get to a better conclusion. He's like, the problem is I can't do that. And this is why.
Yeah, I think that is a reasonable scenario for certain applications. Like I think for cars, it's very reasonable because cars are an everyday object that people use constantly, and it's mostly accidents that we're concerned about with cars. I think with guns, accidents are an issue, but I think it's very difficult to make, from a practical perspective, guns that would limit accidents. We already have safeties on those guns. I mean, you could have electronic, like fingerprint sensors or whatever. Yeah, I agree with you that it could be worthwhile studying, but I do think that the problem with firearms is more related to sociology and less related to like pragma. So like that's like a study.
No, it's both.
Help, but I think it's less of like people not wearing seatbelts issue, and more of like our society has some
Let me ask you a
deep ills
question.
that cause
Do you
crime.
think that our society is inherently just worse than every other countries on the planet?
Not every other country on the planet, but for example, you bring up like Norway and Sweden and those countries, and those countries are mostly culturally homogenous, very generally have very good financial responsibility on an individual and societal level.
Why?
Like just look at the sovereign wealth fund
Why?
in Norway.
Hold
Well,
on, but why?
I think it's because they're countries with a much smaller population, and they have not had a legacy of slavery or deep,
actually, there is tons of
injustice
slavery.
like the United States.
There's actually
But,
tons
like,
of
Norway
slavery in the
and
history of
Sweden
that,
haven't-
but it's actually because that
Oh,
they're probably about as close to socialists as
Let me
you're
say
actually going to get.
racialized slavery. There was no racialized
Sir, blaming
dehumanization of, for
slavery
example,
for this
African
is not the right answer. Okay,
I
because
think it's a huge problem.
but of course it's a huge problem, sir. But trying to relate the two and trying to say that somehow because we have this one problem, we also have this other problem is not true. We have tons of countries that have
black
some
communities are
tons
really
of
messed up because
they
of the
are,
effects of
sir. But
slavery.
black communities are also really fucked up in the UK. Okay,
That's true, and that's
and there's
also,
been there's
a
been huge
colonialist,
history. Yeah, there's been huge,
that's not
huge,
slavery as
huge
much as
histories.
colonialism.
There's been huge histories of of problems with with black people in the UK. But guess what?
That's true.
They don't have the same freaking unaliving rate in the UK because they have better
They
gun
do
laws.
have a very bad. They do have a very bad gang violence issue.
They do. They
I
have a
know
bad
lot
stabbing
about that.
rate.
I know a lot about the gang
Yeah,
violence.
they
in
have
the
a
UK,
really
and
bad
that's
stabbing
not
rate.
as
Did you know
severe as
that?
the United States. I know that. I know a lot about the
Yeah, but their stabbing rate is
happenings
still
in the
less than the
UK.
United States, and that's their primary.
I wasn't
form.
aware of that.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that the country versus country?
Yeah,
Anyway, look,
per capita, it's still less. But hey, I'm gonna move on to the
I'm-
next person because I feel like this conversation is digressing. But I hope you have a
We can
wonderful
talk
day.
about
Okay.
something else. I would love to. All right, because I feel like this is a better conversation than a lot of the conversations that you have with people. They seem to just be fucking stupid. A lot of them.
They are
honestly.
stupid, and you're not stupid.
Well, I'm curious to know.
No,
what
I'm
you
just
believe
I'm
with it.
just hungry and I want to go eat.
Yeah, dude, that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. But I
appreciate
hope you have a good
talking to
day,
me,
all right?
And I appreciate you being more civilized with me than the other fucking people.
All right,
So
dude. Have a good
you're
one.
kind of a dick to them.
Oh, well, you didn't have to leave. I'm a dick to them because they were a dick to me. You weren't a dick. Krista, thank you so much for the $5. It says Canadian here. I feel so sorry that Americans have to deal with this. Love that you're spreading the truth despite ridicule. Oh, they don't bother me. Old Buddhist thing on the thing. Anyways, regardless. I'm doing this for a long time, man. They can freaking talk shit all they want. It don't matter to me. But anyways, hey, y'all, I'm going to get offline for the day. Woo! I'm tired. I'm going to go get some food. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. I doubt I'll be on later. If I'm on later, freaking someone tell me to get off or something. I don't know what to tell you. But I love you all. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, that follow button.